I'm going to see if tonight we could hit actual topics. I know last night, I think we got sidetracked about half the stream with the list that just came to me impromptu. So hopefully we could kind of hit some topics. I'm trying to look at, the uploads. Sometimes I forget what topics I cover. Because I was making topics for tonight, and I'm like, did I cover the 6ix9ine thing? And then I see that Drill uploaded me covering the 6ix9ine thing, so I did cover it. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Hopefully that topic isn't done like chopped cheese. Anyway, welcome y'all. I know this is late, so we're gonna try to be expeditious in everything we're doing tonight. We might get to a little bit slower part of the stream if time permits, but like off top, and yes, alcohol's here. Off top, we're gonna try to knock a lot of these topics off the list pretty quickly. Some of these topics have been lingering, and some of these topics I just haven't got to for whatever reason. Okay. By the way, ain't there like some fight going on tonight? Some UFC shit? I think it's streamer awards and all that type of stuff. All right. I'll react to some of the streamer award stuff if you guys care about it, but we're gonna get to just regular old topics. All right. First and foremost, the news just came down. Tory Lanez's petition for appeal seemingly has reached another roadblock. Okay, if you guys don't know, Tory Lanez is trying to get out of prison, and I'm gonna call it straight with y'all, man. Tory's down to about a few options, and he actually got a big denial recently, and then a big confirmation of the denial that sets his petition for getting released severely back. So let's get up to speed with what's going on, and I'll try to break it down as much as possible. So first of all, if you guys don't know, some of these things you guys can look up yourself. You go to just type in California appeals court case search. You can kind of look up everything yourself. First link, just click on it, or maybe not. Okay, second link, click on it. Right? And you just have to figure out what district it is. He's in Los Angeles. That is actually in the first. No, that's in the second district, actually. Yeah, the second district they serve Los Angeles. So this is second district. You just click on that bit. And then if you go to search case, okay, maybe it's not working tonight. But it should be search appellate case info. Yeah, it is not working tonight. Then. All right, wow. I just pulled it up. Here we go. I'm trying. I literally just pulled it up down here. Am I tripping? Maybe the site's down. Anyway, I do have a list of the appeals he had, and I'm gonna call it straight on. Here we go. Appellate course. DCA.gov. District courts to DCA. Yeah, the site's down. Okay. Wow. Just my luck. I literally looked it up like while I was prepping for stream. Anyway, Tory has filed about like 4 appeals. And I guess I'll just summarize what's going on. He filed, and let me see if I still have it on the screen right here. Does it still work? Oh, shit, it did work. Fuck. Oh. Let me just look it up like that. Appellate cases, court info, ca.gov, search. Does that work? Maybe not. Anyway. Yeah, it's not working. For whatever reason, the site's down. back. Oh, I know why. Hold on. Taking else. Yeah, I think the stream just got cut. Did everything get cut? Are we still live? Okay, I think we're still good. No, we're good. We're good. I bet. Okay, so here it is. It popped up. It was something with my internet settings. If you guys look it up, you just look up Peterson Daystar. This is the California Second Appellate District Court website. If you look it up, you'll notice Tory has had a bunch of appeals. Some of the appeals he's filed was the habeas corpus appeals. Now, what these are, I've told you guys a million times, these are like, yo, prove to me why you're denying me a right, right? That's what habeas corpus is. So it's like a Latin phrase, but you would submit that petition, and you can submit the petition for anything. Usually people do it for either bond or people do it for, like, you know, wrongful convictions, but they feel like, say you say I did something, it comes out later in court, or it comes out later based on new information that I didn't do it or someone else said they did it. I could file this petition basically saying, why am I sitting in jail when you guys have solved the crime, or new information or new technology points to me actually being innocent, right? So it's a way to get out of jail or reverse certain decisions in the court system. I still call it a Hail Mary. Tory first filed it, and when he first filed it in 2024, let's go to the disposition. It's going to tell us what happened to it. That was actually denied, right? Now, I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty of each of these appeals, but, you know, it was him basically saying, yo, you guys didn't do the process right. This was biased. My lawyer was against me, all that type of stuff, right? He filed a second habeas corpus, and this is when, you know, we came with the gun, the DNA's, my DNA wasn't found in the gun. The driver didn't get a chance to testify. He has a written affidavit saying I didn't do it. And he filed another one, which I guess both of them got denied at the same time. So that was actually, we call it again. That was in August. So yeah, that was in August. But the latest appeal, and this kind of like closes the door, if you ask me. This closes the door on Tory Lanez getting out, pending a few other options. And here we go. We're gonna actually open the appeal, the opinion. But this was the appeal for a new trial, right? And let me see here. Yep. Okay. And essentially, the appeal for the new trial, which is the main appeal. So the habeas corpus was always like a Hail Mary. This is like 4th and 59, right? The appeal for the new trial was saying this trial I need a new trial because based on how the trial went, things happened that made it unfair. And I'm going to go over the decision, what they said. But regardless, they affirmed the decision that, yo, Tory, you're not getting out on that either, right? And there's a last appeal in here. And let me see. This one's from way back. Yeah. So currently, Tory's appeals, all of them have pretty much been denied. You know, he's kind of like, at this point, he's kind of like he's not going to get out pending a pardon at this point, you know, or some like inordinate circumstance where they could submit another appeal. Anyway, let me just kind of read quickly this opinion. and this is the opinion. So the way it works in appeal court, they don't do guilty or innocent. They usually agree with a decision a lower court has made, and then they give an opinion of why they're interpreting the law that way. So they've agreed that Tory Lanez's trial, there's nothing in that trial procedurally that requires him to get a new trial, and they're standing on the decision that he had a fair trial. And also the other appeal, which was the habeas corpus on, I have been denied my right to get out based on, they haven't done enough to prove that I'm the one who actually shot Meg. That was also denied as well, right? So let me kind of go over what the opinion of the court is, and they kind of lay out some facts that they're saying it was affirmed by the trial. So they're saying they went to Kylie's house at some point. They texted Peterson. They told him to come. When Peterson shows up, it was really late. Eventually, Meg wanted to leave. Meg, her friend and personal assistant, they got in Megan Kelsey and Tory got in an SUV driven by Jaquan. Argument starts. Meg has to be let out. Meg gets out, started walking away. She heard Peterson say, "Dance, bitch, dance." Peterson pointed a gun at her. She froze. She heard shots. She looked down at her feet. She saw blood. She dropped to the ground, crawled in the driveway, felt pain in both her feet. After it got blurry, she saw Peterson Harrison walking towards her. Peterson started apologizing. She got back in the car. She heard police sirens. Said, "Please, y'all don't say nothing. I'm about to sign a big deal. I give both y'all $1 million each." Harris sent a text to Justin, who was her security, saying, "Help, Tory shot Meg. Please stop the SUV." They asked everyone to get out. Pete told the police she stepped on glass. She didn't tell them she had been shot. When asked at trial why she told the police why she stepped on glass, she said that there was the murder of George Floyd. What? And she testified that she didn't know if she was going to shoot, if they were going to, the police was going to shoot first and ask questions later. Okay, anyway. This is kind of laying down all that type of stuff that they're saying came out in trial. They mentioned the text message that Tory says where he's like, "I know you probably never ever going to talk to me again, but bro, I just want to say, I was so fucking drunk. I would never do some shit like that, regardless. I'm going to make everything right. I'm deeply sorry, so I feel crazy." And, again, they're utilizing this damn message, and I ain't going to lie, probably one of the most regrettable voicemails Tory's probably ever sent. Tory Lanez apology. Let's see if we can hear it. Nope.
It's one of the crazier stories we've heard of, guys.
I know.
That's not it. Here we go. We're trying to get it was like, "I was too drunk."
But it's potential.
Where is that? You guys have heard it a million times. This is him talking to Kelsey. But he did leave a voicemail for Meg.
This is a freak. Hey.
Y'all got out say anything.
Huh?
Oh, no, he called Kelsey.
Anything else? What's going on? You feel me? We was taking shots past that.
Oh, I think that thing is cropped or is panned, So I gotta just click on this one,
I just want you to know, bro. Nigga, I was just so fucking drunk, nigga. I didn't even know what the fuck was going on, bro. Deadass. I didn't even know what the fuck was going on, bro. Like, deadass, nigga. I'd never do some shit like that, bro. Just that, nigga, I was just so fucking drunk, nigga. I just didn't even understand what the fuck was going on, bro. Like, so whatever.
Yeah.
But, regardless, that's not gonna make anything right. And that's not gonna make my actions right, bro. But I'm just deeply sorry, bro. I never even moved like that, bro. Like, never moved like that at all, bro. Like, for real, dog.
I know. There's a lot that happens, but
A whole lot, bro. Like, a whole lot, bro. I feel crazy, bro. But this day, like, what happened already, bro. I can't take it back, bro. I'm just telling y'all, I'm sorry, bro. Like,
you're listening to Street TV.
I think it was just too drunk, bro. You know what I'm saying? When I got to the house, shorty, like, all top niggas, they gave me like 5 shots, like, off the door, like, you feel me? So I was out of there, like, wasn't in there with niggas, like, you feel me? We was taking shots.
The craziest part about this, Tory Tory succumbed to baddie shot o'clock. That's what got Tory out of here, man. Tory shows up to the party. He sees Kylie. She looking fine as ever. Feel me? He made sure he get that little spray on, make sure that, the ball spot's good. They're like, baddie shot o'clock. He takes a shot. You know what I mean? He's like, he's peeping game. He's seeing what's good. You know him. Nigga like Tory, shirt off already. He ready to get up in that pool. He really trying to get up in Kylie. Another shot. What was it? Baddie shot o'clock. Another one, nigga. 5 shots in, man. Tory's lit.
That's past that time. I wasn't even there with niggas. Like, bro, I don't even remember what we was even arguing about, bro. Like,
Yeah.
You know what y'all arguing about.
No, I don't, I didn't even, I was already fucked up by the time you got there, so I don't know how much.
It's like, but tell me what hospital she's in.
Okay, then you asked about Meg. Okay, so they're using that. They're saying that, based on these things that was brought into the trial, it kind of affirms the decision in that these are all fair play, It says the people charged Tory with assault of a semi-automatic firearm on Pete and having a concealed firearm not registered to him in the vehicle, and also discharging the firearm with gross negligence. In count 1, they alleged that Peterson used the firearm, and in counts 1 and 3, the people alleged that Peterson personally inflicted great bodily injury onto Pete. Okay, they also alleged aggravating factors under the California's rule of court. They went to trial. Everybody, they're saying who testified, this and third. Cool. So they kind of go over and they summarize the whole trial, right? Then let's just get to, it says, here's the discussion. And this is where now you're going to hear the appellate court kind of start to lay out how they're viewing this entire thing, right? So they said Peterson contends the trial court abused its discretion in allowing testimony and evidence concerning Pete's emotion about the incident and aftermath on direct examination. So you got to remember, part of Tory's appeal is like, yo, why did y'all forcibly play Kelsey's conversation with the prosecutor where she basically accused Tory of doing it? When she got on the stand, she didn't accuse Tory of doing it. Right? And also she had all the protections that we would probably get the most truthful version of her there. She didn't accuse Tory of doing it. But the trial, you're going to hear the appellate court basically say, hey, this is common practice. If somebody don't remember on the stand and you talked to the prosecutors before, they could play what you talked to the prosecutors and said to jog your memory, right? So cool. All right. All right, bet. What else? They had some follow-up. Okay, Pete testified. All right, bet. Yeah, this is a whole lot of shit. It's a whole lot. And by the way, you guys are more than welcome to, I'll make sure I download it. I'll download it and make sure I upload it for y'all, all right? It'll be on the website. Okay. Peterson asserts that the prosecution explicitly and improperly introduced racial bias into the proceedings by asking a witness about what appears to be a tattoo of a firearm in the middle of his chest. The defense witness, Culberson, testified that he was Meg's stylist and friend, but he was also the driver for Meg as well at times, okay? So they're talking about, I guess they asked that person, you ever seen Tory with a gun? They said, nah. They said, ever seen him around guns? Nah. And then on cross-examination, they asked about, I guess they asked about a tattoo? Okay. Anyway. And these are the line of questions. Do you see that big gun tattoo Tory has on his chest? He says, no, I haven't seen Tory's body. And that's what the stylist said. Okay. So these are the things that they're summarizing everything. They're summarizing what happened in court. Now they're summarizing what Tory is claiming is inappropriate. It says the trial court did not impermissibly chill his right to testify. As he didn't testify, he cannot raise this issue on appeal. So it looked like they're saying that Tory is even appealing that, yo, I was going to take the stand, which is kind of crazy because, you know what I mean? I think that was a firm decision for him to not take the stand. So they're saying, bro, if you got one chance to take the stand, you ain't take the stand, that's your bad. The jury did not hear Peterson's account of regarding that night in question. The court ruled that if he had testified, the prosecutor could introduce his music video and rap lyrics during cross-examination, okay? Midway during the case, they told the court they were asking to inquire about prior acts of violence. If he testified to rebut the character evidence put on by the defense, the court replied, well, I think, okay, cool. He said, did you, so the court had said, so Mr. Medeshin, you advised me your client's not going to testify, right? I said, that's correct. Tory, you know you have the absolute right to testify if you choose, right? I said, you know you have an absolute right not to testify if that's your decision. If you testify, you'll take the stand and be questioned just like any other witness, blah, blah. And Tory basically said in his own voice, yes, Your Honor, I'm not going to take the stand. Said, did you have a chance to discuss with your attorney? He says, yes, I have. Said, based on your discussion, it's your choice to not take the stand. He says he won't take the stand. So there's the issue of taking a stand, and then also what comes into play if he takes a stand. If he takes a stand, they could bring up his past violence, right? So if he was fighting at the club, he was getting into other situations. Neither Peterson or his counsel ever told the court that Peterson wished to testify, but was deterred by the prospect of impeachment by the prosecution. So they're saying there was nothing in the air to make Tory feel like if he testified, this was a plot to get him impeached by the prosecution, even if they didn't get a conviction. And so the mention of Peterson's criminal case in Florida was not prejudicial. Okay, so I guess they brought up a case that Tory had, and that came out when Tory, when they're going over what Tory allegedly said in the car while the police is behind them. Remember, they're getting pulled over, right? They said Tory not only offered $1 million, Tory looked back and said, yo, listen, yo, I'm on probation. Basically saying, yo, if they catch me with this gun, they think I did this, I'm going to jail, y'all. And they're saying that because that was mentioned, it might have prejudiced the jury to kind of like make them feel like, yo, this nigga's already a criminal, right? That's why he's on probation. So that's another thing that was raised. And by the way, the appellate court is basically saying, nah, we don't agree with that. So the trial court did not err in permitting the prosecution to play for the jury a prior inconsistent statement. So this is the Kelsey Harris thing. So they allowed that too. So they're saying that they agreed. And then it said the trial court did not abuse his discretion in admitting evidence regarding an Instagram post. So Tory didn't want an Instagram post admitted, which was, what was that? That's when Tory's account commented when people accuse Kelsey of shooting Meg. Tory's account commented, not true. Now, Tory's lawyers came out and said, yo, mad people use his account. We don't know if it's Tory. And essentially they said that might be the case, but we have no idea if that is or isn't the case, and this is why it's subject to either the belief of the jurors, because it's a common Instagram that Tory himself uses. Okay, so they denied that, or they affirmed basically that. Trial court properly instructed the jury on count 1 on the firearm enhancement. Now, the firearm enhancement is what got him that 10 years, I believe. It says it contends the trial court reversibly erred in its instruction on count 1 and count 2. Count 1 alleged assault with a semi-automatic firearm, and count 2 alleged having a concealed unregistered firearm in the vehicle, violating blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. That firearm enhancement is what got Tory to 10 years. So they're saying to prove assault with a firearm, the prosecutor must, 1, prove the defendant did act with a firearm, and that by nature would have been directly and probably a result of the application of force to a person. And number 2, that they acted willfully. Number 3, the defendant acted and he was aware of the facts that it would lead a reasonable person to realize that his act by nature would directly and probably result in the application of force to someone. And 4, when the defendant acted, he had present ability to apply force with the firearm. Okay, a bunch of BS. All right, so they affirmed that too. Okay, so that enhancement got him extra time. And let's see what else. The prosecutor's statements and closing arguments do not require reversal. So they're saying that Peterson contends that the prosecution engaged in prosecutorial misconduct in making improper comments during closing arguments. And so according to Peterson, the improper comments consisted of improper appeals to emotion and sympathy for the victim, arguing facts not in evidence, and denigrating the defense counsel. Now here's the thing about opening and closing statements. Those are narrative-based. Those are narrative-based offerings to the jury, and usually the judge will say, "Hey, listen, in opening statements, it's a narrative about what you're going to see, and everything said there does not need to be proven immediately, or might not need to be proven during the trial, and you have to make that distinction. If they say in opening trial, hey, we're going to prove that this guy stole the candy from the store, they never prove that this guy stole the candy from the store, that's still fair game as a opening statement. It's on the jury to say, well, you told us what was going to be proven. It wasn't proven. So it's supposed to be taken not as evidence. Evidence is the testimony by witnesses and the testimony, and the quote unquote exhibits that are entered into evidence, right? Okay, so basically they're saying that, they were appealing to the emotion of the jury, because obviously Meg is crying. It's like, it's a whole victim thing. Also, Meg is a celebrity, but the court is saying, you could definitely appeal to the jurors, soft spot pause on what they have for Meg and Meg's, injury or whatever. Okay, good. Let's see what else. Okay. The record doesn't support Peterson's contention that prosecutorial misconduct interfered with his right to a conflict-free counsel. And that is Sean Hawley. And they're saying that Sean Hawley, they're saying that he wanted to add another lawyer, which is the lawyer he added later when Sean Hawley dropped. But they're saying that, okay, so it looked like, so he's contending, I didn't have enough time to get my new lawyer up to speed, and I wasn't allowed to bring him on initially. So really, like, my lawyers were unprepared, essentially, right? So yeah, that they're saying, no, nigga, we don't believe that either. Then he says, then imposing a midterm. Okay. He's contending that the trial court reversely erred and declining to impose the lowest possible sentence. And yeah. And so the trial court found 4 factors in aggravation. So again, this is now the sentencing. All right, I ain't gonna lie. They basically told Tory no to everything. All right. You guys are going to be able to read that on the website. I'm not going to just spoon feed everything here, but I kind of went over the main factors that Tory was claiming on an appeal for a new trial. And also there was a part there as well that could have been an appeal. The appeal could be granted in part with a lower sentence as well. They basically affirmed everything, which is, you got the right amount of years, 10. You got the right trial. They're not going to say the right verdict because that's on the jury. But they're saying nothing in the trial was fugazi, which means you need another trial. Okay, so in short, let's just put it together. In short, what this is that Tory Lanez, all his appeals have been exhausted, at least the ones filed so far, in court. It now means that Tory Lanez has to get pardoned, and he will have to seek the pardon from the state governor, which is Gavin Newsom. I know people keep throwing around Trump. While Trump has some influence, Trump doesn't have the authority, the proper authority, to pardon a state prisoner. So Trump is out of play here. This all goes down to Gavin Newsom. It doesn't seem like a likely situation that Gavin Newsom is going to pardon him. we could speak kind of clear here and blunt. Gavin Newsom is one of those niggas who the way his policies lay down, he love gays, women. He hate niggas. You know what I mean? Basically that, right? Like he's one of them woke niggas. So he's not going to reverse a conviction of somebody accused of shooting a woman. You feel what I'm saying? He's not going to do it. Now, let's look at Tory Lanez's release date. Let's see. California Department of Corrections. So essentially, Tory got basically one more chance. Obviously, there's a couple other ways he can still get out, but like those are like, if we were saying a habeas corpus is a Hail Mary, those are like lightning got to strike the same place 5 times, right? Like essentially, it just ain't gonna happen. Let me see. All right, so this is Tory. He's 33 now. He's locked up at California Men's Colony. What type of prison is this? It's like, I'm wondering if he got that Diddy prison, you know? Reason I'm saying, I'm trying to see if it's like a high security, low security. Let's see. It's a male-only state prison. I'm trying to figure out if it's like some... Oh, it's a medium security. So it's a medium security with individual cells, fence perimeters, armed coverage, with housing divided into 4 quadrants. Okay. See some pictures of it. Okay, so looks like this over here. All right. Well, this is another view. So these are the 4 quadrants. Okay. Now, let's see when he got locked up. Then when did he? No, he got admitted then, but he was locked up in end of 2022. And let's see if we could figure out when he's supposed to get out. Okay, so his parole eligibility date is 2029. So September 2029. So if we have a clock, and we should set a Tory parole clock, and because we got to be honest, he don't look like he's getting out anywhere else. So it's going to be 2029 September that he's awaiting parole and he's eligible. I think he's going to, fingers crossed, I think he's going to get out on the first parole, the earliest parole eligibility date. Why? He's been stabbed in prison, and we haven't heard him doing any real bullshit in prison yet. So that, along with the fact that, he's participating in all these programs, he's supposedly being a good inmate. Obviously, he kind of acted up when it was time for him to do his deposition for Megan Milagro shit, but who wants to do that bullshit? But Tory should be out in September 2029. Granted, the first chance at parole he actually is released on. So we'll see. We'll see. All right. Okay. Yo, I think everybody's seen. This nigga 50 did a cold job, man. He did a cold motherfucking job on Diddy. And did y'all see Waka Flocka react to it recently? Waka Flocka reacted to this. And tell me what you take from it, because some people feel like he was going at Diddy. I think he wasn't defending Diddy, but what he was really doing, he was just saying, I'm glad I don't be trying to be around y'all industry people, because what he's just seen, what Diddy, 50 did to Diddy in this documentary that paints him just one way. It's crazy. Watch this.
Man, after watching that Netflix shit that 6ix9ine produced, I don't trust no celebrity. Thank you, God. I never went to nobody party. That's why I never do no feature. I don't go to studios. Thank you. I'm not even hot no more. Nobody even requesting me. All that shit, bro. I'm 6ix9ine. You showed me something, man. Hey. No excuses. Hey, man, after watching that Netflix shit, Look, man, I can't talk to no that got glasses on talking to me every time I see him. I gotta see the lies in your face. I gotta see the demon in your eyes, the angel in your eyes, the confidence in your words. I gotta know you real, what you're saying to me. I can't trust no man glasses all day, man. Look me in my eyes when we talking, man. Real shot. Look, man, I can't.
Okay. Now, this is all after the documentary still is coming. The documentary is out. It's #1 all over Netflix. 50 is like having a time of his life. And did y'all see this part right here? Yo, we had Lil Rod on here that did an interview, but Lil Rod went on the documentary. And y'all got to see. Where's the part with Lil Rod at? It says, producer Lil Rod said there were days he would party with Diddy all night and wake up sore in the morning and not know what happened. Pause. Yo, whoa. Should mean wake up sore. He claims some days he woke up next to women. Some days he woke up next to Diddy. Check this out.
Things that happen to me, I just don't even want to speak on. You know what I'm saying? Some days those girls next to me woke up. Some days he was in the bed. I would wake up feeling sore, still not understanding exactly.
Yo, as a man, you can't, like, which part of you is sore, gang? Because if you go to the gym, your biceps might be sore. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you do some dips, maybe your thighs are sore, but like, wow, which part of you is sore, brother? Some people actually believe they're like, yo, bro, this is not abuse. Whatever you're trying to claim, you and that nigga was in a relationship. You having the time of your life.
There's a lot of things.
Yeah. So, you know, Lil Rod, who, again, I guess he finally gets his cash out of this whole situation. He's still suing Diddy, by the way, for unpaid wages and for sexual assault and abuse. Lil Rod is the one who got this all started. You know, I said last night, I know I was lit last night, but I said, yo, I do think Diddy, people have lightened up. I think this documentary kind of puts him back in like, oh, this guy's a really bad guy, like, realm. But I do think when Diddy gets out, Diddy's going to get the Gunna treatment. And I hope you guys don't get mad at me saying it, but it's exactly what's going to be. I'll put any money on it. Diddy's going to get the Gunna treatment if Diddy acts like Gunna. If Diddy come out and he keep doing all this gyrating, the P, the D, the I, the D, the Y, the D, all right, they're going to just say, and I'm telling Diddy this right now. I know he's somewhere in the cell watching this shit on the Apple Watch. You are going, like, right now is the equivalent to, like, snitching. Nigga, nobody cares about snitching. And really, nobody cares that you were pimping hoes. You got cleared of the main charges that people carried that you actually were you were acquitted of, which is sex trafficking, which nobody's going to defend a sex trafficker, and RICO, which involved all of the heinous things that also include sex trafficking. You got cleared of those. Now it's just you pimping hoes. Yes, they seen videos of you beating chicks, whatever. There's mad stories. If he come out on some Gunna shit, you're going to watch the rappers who have stayed quiet are going to all be around him. Eventually, over time. That's if he shuts the fuck up and don't come back out. Like that Diddy persona, and I wonder how he's processing this, because even as we're watching the, you know, I don't know if you guys watch the documentary by now, the hubris, like this is what, hubris is what, you know, the judge quoted when he was given the sentencing down. He said, brother, like, you have a release party in Miami already? And I haven't made my ruling? The judge was upset by that when the prosecutor brought up that there was pre-planned Diddy parties that he was ready to walk out of jail if he was given time served and have that week. Diddy about to get arrested and filming the entire thing, and he's popping that shit while he's like, there's no humble moment. He has to process that the persona of Diddy is dead. The persona of Diddy is dead. And if I would give him advice, I would say the public image and the guy who lives he's on the top of the table during a party, he's the life of the party, that's over as well. Diddy's going to come home. He's going to fight civil cases until he's probably out of here. The main takeaway is he's still going to be up tens, if not over $100 million, because trust me, they ain't drained him that much. Pause. He's still got some bread now. He's still got some bread. But the idea of gallivanting and gyrating and, he has to kill that portion of him if he cares about his family and he cares about his own well-being. Now, that's going to be a hard monster to kill. Remember, they're saying after Biggie's death, he was so self-obsessed and craved the spotlight so much. He said, man, fuck that. Why are we putting a dead guy on the magazine? I got an album coming out. Put me on the magazine. Those type of things really shows his character to say, I always want to be the guy. It goes back to the age-old thing where you hear 6ix9ine say, if you don't want your executive producer all up in the video, that was Diddy's MO. I think Diddy's going to be fine if he lays back, comes back out, just chills with his family, doesn't seek to try to do the most, which, by the way, you already made your money already. Don't come out and just do a Vlad TV interview. No disrespect to Vlad. Don't run to the Breakfast Club. Don't shoot a documentary. Just chill. Just chill. And watch the natural order of things. You're going to see these rappers start being around you and don't mind getting photoed with you. And that's how I see Diddy's comeback being like Gunna. Yo, Gunna kicking it with Kodak, bringing our money back. Yo, we already knew Offset and like DDG fuck with him. But like Gunna is now showing us that, bro, all of this shit where niggas is like they don't fuck with rats or whatever, that is like an antiquated old conversation that people don't really honor anymore. So all of this like disgust that people are saying they have for Diddy and contempt, like how could he do this? If he gets out and shuts the fuck up, give it 6 months, you're going to start seeing rappers hang with him again. They just won't talk about the elephant in the room. And what's the elephant in the room? Not the convictions, because I think he beat the ones that would really make him look weird. They're not going to talk about the details of the case that everybody seems to be bringing up now. Yo, what's up with that video you beat? You know why? 98% of rappers beat their bitch too. Sorry to tell y'all. 98% of rappers, let me not say 98%. When I've talked to rappers behind the scenes when it comes to Diddy, they always thought like, yo, he's a super freak, he on some other shit, so they don't agree with that. But they've always, when I've talked to rappers when it comes to sex trafficking, rappers always kind of gave the idea off to me that, yo, we be doing the same shit. Like, yo, we be flying bitches out. We be doing this and third. We just be paying for it. We be, like, this is kind of like status quo. So if Diddy guilty, like, yo, is this shit clipped? So I don't think they're going to be judging him for that stuff. They'll judge him for some of the salacious details, like, nigga, you was rubbing nut on your chest, bro. Like, come on, bro. Come on. Anyway, I think Diddy's going to be fine, right? Diddy is going to be fine if he comes out and does the Gunna route. And I think that's, for anybody else who's coming out in controversy, I hope they take that into consideration. There's a Gunna route in all of this. We don't need you to do interviews trying to cop please and explain it on some 6ix9ine shit, over-explain it. Nah. Yo, I ain't snitch. Listen, I would have snitched if they were my friends. Are they my friends? No, we don't want to hear that. Just be quiet. These rappers going to run right back to being in your good graces. Okay? Now, what also came out recently is Justin Combs and Misa Hilton, which I believe is his mom, they have came out and spoke out saying that this documentary is causing harassment to the family, okay? Oh my God. All these ads. Misa says she and Justin are being harassed following comments implied by Gene Deal. and the documentary. Misa says this. Anyone who knows me knows I'm a private person, and it pains me that I even have to post this. The harassment of my son and I have been dealing with is because of things implied by Gene Deal and stated in a recent Netflix documentary. It's been heartbreaking. The truth is, the public is being misled about me and my child. We've been dragged into something we never asked for, a cruel game built on rumors and agendas. Please take a moment before believing everything you hear. The most painful part of this is that it's happening because of men I once trusted to protect me, not harm me. And the saddest thing is that none of this affects the people spreading it. It only hurts me and my son. Like Gene said, we've been treated as casualties of war. With little critical thinking, it would be easy to realize that the things that could be said could not be possibly be true because of the results that would come from these disparaging statements if they were in fact true. This would be a post and delete. Protect women and their children. This is only about Misa and Justin only. Why didn't this go viral? This is a poorly timed and I think a horrible post. I'm going to tell you why. Ma'am, I know you're saying that you and your son are just being lumped into this, but if we read all the allegations, they're saying that Justin is Diddy part 2. So you can't use this like, oh, my son, without acknowledging that they're saying that your son seems to be mirroring your baby father, which is Diddy. I get it. You are the mother, and yes, you're obviously a casualty of war, but you can't shield, again, Justin, you can't be like me and my son. Justin's a grown-ass man. This nigga pushing 30, if he's not 30 already. So you could speak for yourself about you not choosing all of this, but Justin is his own man, and whether allegations, and most of them I really don't believe, but they allege stuff of Justin that is equal or seems to match what the fuck that they were claiming Diddy was doing. All right, so I get what she's saying, but you can't protect you and your son. It says the commentary continues. There's an old audio clip. It says, let's see. I'm trying to figure out what's the clip that involved Justin. Oh, never mind. She's speaking about the paternity. Oh, so Gene Deal. Oh, let me look it up. Okay, I think I got it. Trying to find it on YouTube. Here it is.
In law enforcement, period, that grew up, in an urban community and knew street people and could relate to.
Now, so I want to backtrack a little bit on what I just said. If she's defending her and her son, basically saying, yo, whatever Diddy got going on, don't drag my son into it, in the sense of you're doubting that his father is Diddy, or you're doubting the paternity status of him, because now you're affecting someone's mental state where they might think that their father, who they thought was their father, wasn't their father all along. And Gene Deal has been one of the people pushing this.
To dudes that was behind bars. So when they came out behind bars, I did everything in my...
And I'll explain the rumor. There's a rumor that 50's bodyguard, or one of his bodyguards, somebody named Wolf or something, they're saying he looks light-skinned and he looks kind of like Justin. They're saying he was rumored to be the father of Justin Combs and not Diddy. Now, the family's never said that. They've never acknowledged that. Justin clearly loves Diddy, calls Diddy his dad, moves that way. And, it's kind of like a conspiracy theory, one that's being pushed by another person who was a bodyguard, which is Gene Deal.
when it turned over from the Department of Correction, from the Division of MTV, VH1, Nick Bloomfield, go to war with this dude. I don't know. I don't supposed to tell y'all. I remember when a nigga did the blood test, he had to pay Misa so much kind of money, and he was mad at the motherfucker. Fuck that nigga. I'm not gonna tell y'all that. But if you ask me personally, I'm gonna tell you. I don't know what you're talking about. I wasn't there when they was fucking. How would I know? Because I'm going to war with this nigga. Does it hurt Misa? Because I used to work for Misa.
Okay, so this is where he's addressing her, I guess.
Because Misa knew that Puff was not going to run up her and do shit to her when she was with me. So when I left Puff, I started working for Misa. When I started working for Misa, she had me there because she knew how afraid Puff was, and I didn't give a fuck about nobody because that's the type of person I was back then. No, you're not gonna do nobody. Yo, I'm gonna die for Misha right now. Ain't nobody gonna touch her. That's how I was when I was with her. Misha be like, yo, Gene, I'm downtown. I'm finna go into the what Cheetahs. Me and Mary. Meet me down there, shoot down there. Q-Rock City, what's up with you, boy? So now, I'm going to war with this nigga. I know me not saying nothing hurt Misa, but you just a casualty of war right now. I know what was saying hurt Justin because I did not clarify it to nobody because I didn't say it. Reggie Wright and somebody else said it and said I told them, which they was lying. When you go to war, enemy of your enemy becomes your friend. And the friend of your enemy becomes your enemy. I'm looking at it that way. Anything that hurt this nigga, I'm going to use if somebody else said it. Now, when other shit that I said about his mother, it was the truth. I didn't lie about none of that. I didn't lie about Justice. I just did not, what? Because I got a voice. I could have said, man, that's some bullshit, man. I remember when Puff had the fucking blood test and he was mad because he had to pay Misha a little bit more money than he was paying her at first because he was starving her at first. Now he got to really pay her. I could have said that, but I didn't because I'm at war with this nigga. I'm going to still continue to be at war with this nigga.
The greatest ever. What up? Thank you for the follow.
I'm letting y'all know that it's some casualties of war. That was one of them. There are some other things. Will I speak on them? Nah, I won't speak on them. And why I'm speaking on this shit right now is because I'm letting you know this nigga gonna go to war. All y'all niggas ain't ready for it. All y'all niggas who didn't come to his defense. All y'all niggas who was acting a certain.
Okay, I agree. I agree. Well, if I'm Diddy, maybe Diddy has made peace, and I think that's very important, that he needs to make peace with, even if the fact that he's thinking, damn, I'm only locked up because these motherfuckers who I did well. And that's a lot of what I've heard when people get in these situations they feel. When you go down, you kind of look at it and you're like, damn, I gave this person that. I bought his mama a house. I bailed him out from jail. I paid for this for his kid's tuition. His uncle died. I paid for the funeral. I gave him this amount of money a year. And Diddy allegedly or supposedly would naturally go through that feeling of, man, I'm only sitting here because niggas betrayed me. And he has to get past that to be like, well, what did he contribute to be there, right? Yo, okay. Despite maybe people that you were nice to, you were paying their rent, you were giving they relied on you for their livelihood. What the hell did you do to get yourself in that position? And if he gets there, maybe he gets out and says, you know what? Fuck that shit. I'm glad and fortunate to be free. I still got my family. I still got portions of my wealth. I'm good. I've been humbled. Or he might get out on some young boy shit. When I mean young boy shit, is like, we ain't see jail deter a young boy one time. What that mean is you get out and you're like, oh, y'all motherfuckers who done snitched on me, who done told on me, who I put money in your pockets, food in your stomach, pause. Listen, I'm going to fuck y'all up. I'm going to spend every fucking dime. I'm going to put a hit out on all you motherfuckers. And I mean that like, facetiously, not literally. We're going to see how Diddy gets out. Like, obviously, I don't believe 50 with the funeral, the flower shit that he's like, oh, Diddy sent me. I don't believe that. I don't believe that shit. Because I think Diddy knows right now, even if he was going to have to, if he was going to exact revenge on Diddy, on 50, I mean, he locked up in prison right now. Do it on a sneak. Do it on the humble. So I think it remains to be seen how Diddy's going to handle all of this, right? I think it remains to be seen. Anyway, that is the latest. Let me see if there's anything more else with the Diddy stuff. Diddy betrays his own lawyer.
This is your holiday reminder that shoes are a gift, literally.
And we're not just saying that because we're DSW.
This year, unwrap confidence.
Oh.
Unwrap something.
Oh, shit. All right, chat, I can't play all of this shit, but I do got the Diddy doc right here. I got the Diddy doc. Let me play. You want me to play a little bit? So I do want to play the part where they're talking about Diddy betrayed his own lawyers. Basically, there was a time, and I know this was meant to make Diddy looks crazy. I understood what Diddy was saying, and I actually believe that Diddy getting on his legal team as he was is a reason why he didn't get convicted of RICO and sex trafficking. Diddy pushed this team, and he kept adding more people. Bro, they did an amazing job making sure this nigga didn't get 20 years or life. Now, if you know Diddy in a music studio, or you know Diddy in any business capacity, Diddy's the person who's going super hard, and you got to be a pussy to think that Diddy's shouting at his lawyers or, talking shit to his lawyers because he's trying to, some people just go through the process. Y'all have hired lawyers before, chat? And lawyers are like bullshit. Like, it could even be traffic shit. You know what I mean? And you're like, all right, well, that's, and you tell your lawyer, I want it to be this outcome. And then the lawyer get in there and you're just sitting there going through the motions. And then the outcome is not even what you wanted. But the lawyer basically just tells you like, yo, the judge went other way. And like, you're like, wait, that's all you could do? So I don't mind Diddy, who probably paid, if you ask me, I think the legal bill ran up at least $10 million. I don't mind him getting on his lawyer's ass. I'm sorry. Yeah, nigga, I ain't trying to do 20 years. Get to it. Some of y'all figure this out. Y'all niggas figure this shit out. So let me see if I could show the part. Again, I have the documentary here, but I'm not going to play, obviously, the whole thing. I think Netflix would be highly upset. These are some parts where he's talking about.
I read the 55-page lawsuit.
Here we go. This is 4, I think. Give me 1 second. I'm just trying to find the right point. Oh, no. Yeah, that's when he beat it. Okay, it's episode 3. Lil Rod comes in a lot on episode 4. Give me a second. I'm just trying to find this. Episode 3 has Cassie a lot. Well, I can show y'all. I can show y'all this, I guess. Yeah. Okay, this is him in the car.
Numerous occasions.
This is when he was just walking around New York City. I'm trying to get to the actual parts. Okay, this is him kind of also like prepping. This is, by the way, this is that infamous pouch, which is so crazy. Bro, if you're being investigated for all this stuff, people saying you drugged them, well, how the hell you gonna have a fucking pouch with the drugs and then tell somebody to film you? Like, this is, like, Diddy definitely thought he was bigger than the program. You're accused of drugging people, Diddy. People are describing how they see you carry around the drugs, fanny packs, this and third. You hire somebody to film you and you tell them, yo, get the, like, you're going to leave the purse with the drugs literally in plain sight. Dawn, he said, he said, man, I was always nice to this girl. He's like, yo, there's some type of brokenness going on right now. Because these motherfuckers is coming at me. So he accused them of being broke.
God told me to do nothing, so I gotta do.
This is him talking to Justin Combs, his son. And he said, God told me to do nothing. So you, and he's talking to his son, say, you need to figure out what you need to do to make the shit better. Because God told me I can't do nothing right now. And you could tell Justin felt the pressure. Like, there's pressure on Justin. And you could tell Diddy was trying to be the Diddy where, oh, I'm not a victim. Like, I'm Diddy. You could see him trying to psych himself up. By the way, we're not playing the whole thing, chat, because I know Netflix will, Drill, edit most of this shit out. You could probably put, like, let me just give Drill instructions. If you're using, this is the doc, you could use maybe like 10, 15 seconds, okay? Do not put up, like, you know what I mean? I'm being a little bit more liberal because I am on live stream. But if you put this shit up on YouTube, trust me, Netflix is getting this shit clipped. Yo, chat, the most diabolical part of all this is this right here, chat. After every one of them episodes, chat. After every one of them episodes, it fades to the credits. It fades to the credits, and when it fades to the credits, you're going to see, watch this. Directed by Alexandra Stapleton. Executive produced by Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. I'm telling you, man, if I'm 50, 50 better bump up his security. Because if I'm Diddy, I'm spending every dollar. This nigga got to go. Facts. You got to go, bro. This nigga's like, let me tell you this. Let's be honest. If y'all believe that Diddy got Tupac and Biggie killed, ain't no way 50 just chilling and just like laughing like this on the gram. Ain't no way. Ain't no way, my nigga. Ain't no way. Again, I'm going to conspiracy theory land because, I don't believe some of those claims. But what I'm saying is that if y'all think 50 and Diddy is as devious as y'all claim he is, and he's never been charged for no murder or nothing, it's no way he got Pac and Big killed, and 50 out here violating him down to his last days on earth. Come on, bro. Come on, man. Come on, bro. You get what I'm saying? So, I ain't gonna lie to you, the way how 50 playing with Diddy, I gotta believe that Diddy never did none of the shit y'all claim he did. Yeah, like, he acted fake tough with niggas like Kid Cudi because Kid Cudi ain't on shit. But when y'all saying that he got Pac killed and he got this nigga killed, well, how is 50 just chilling? How? The nigga made a documentary and sent you to jail. Let me bring that back. He made a documentary, ruined all forecasts of you potentially come out of jail with slightly a clean face, which maybe some could argue is impossible already. But he hyped up everything before you got locked up. Oh, shit, fuck. Oh, yeah, this is the fucking thing. Shouts to Netflix.
God, throwing my outfit for what?
By the way, I thought it was nasty when they bring in the Biggie and Pac stuff. Like, they basically was trying to say, yeah, he could have did both. I'm like, come on, bro. But this is the footage of him the last couple of days, right? Getting this footage is like...
The Las Vegas incident, we do have to emphasize to you.
Who's standing right there? Patiently looking to see if that's you.
Okay. Yeah. This is the glamorous, like, you know, this tells you so much you need to know about Diddy, like, and this is why this was important footage. I think the best footage about this is the footage leading up to his arrest. And the reason why it's great is that even though the world is collapsing around him, Diddy's still having to keep the image of, yo, it's all good. Yo, I'm still looking good. I'm still this. I'm still that. As he's walking out of his hotel room, you have stylists or personal assistants, whoever the fuck you want to call these people. They're trying to make sure he looks good. They're trying to make sure the image is still on point. And you get to realize Diddy is an old school celebrity, man. The image comes first. I'm trying to see if I can find the lawyer thing.
Our back.
Does anyone know in what episode does he cuss out his lawyers? Is it 3? It might be 3.
On the clip, and when he refused.
Okay. I don't want to keep playing it. Here we go. By the way, this is supposedly his 19 or 20-year-old girlfriend at the time that, you know, he's trying to, by the way, I also think, you know, this is where the documentary misses the mark for me. And I don't want nobody to be like, yo, Aki, I feel like you're defending Diddy. Bro, when I watch a documentary, I like for you to come away with it with a mixed type of feeling. Where you could be like, was it worth it? This documentary doesn't do it for me. This documentary just says Diddy's a piece of shit. Which, yes, you could even still believe he's a piece of shit, but it doesn't show the other things about him. It doesn't show that this guy was living life on an axis that's just different and weird, or maybe something that you or I won't ever experience. And at points he was too far gone, but at points he was trying to, like, you know, do things that was reasonably within the right moral compass, right? Anyway, I think this is 19-year-old girlfriend who he's trying to, like, soup her up like nothing's wrong, because you could imagine she's probably on TikTok reading everything bad about him, and he's look at him kind of like putting on that face like, nah, everything's good. Watch.
Daddy.
Look, yo, this is a couple days before his arrest. His lawyers are telling him everything in the world, but yo, he's talking to his, you know, by the way, he ain't talking to Carisha. Well, Carisha was out by then. He's talking to this girl, and he got to make it seem good. I'm about to deposit $200 million. All that was masking, you know. So that was the Cassie stuff. I just want to go to the lawyer stuff. Again, you guys should watch all this if you care. Shine did get a part, even though he did not participate in the documentary. One thing about the documentary, and again, I know something I'm gonna be like I'm overly critical, and this is why I keep bringing up my man Sean G, is because the documentary just hit the points that mainstream wise we've thought. It just made him seem guilty. For example, yo, did you know? They're like, oh, he made Biggie pay for his own funeral. Yo, he might have been behind Biggie dying in LA. He might be behind Pac dying. And it hits on so many of the mainstream things that what it missed was the intricacies that we found out in a trial. And this is where I seen Sean G was pointing it out. Like, he was accurate to a lot of this stuff, right? Like, none of the intricacies of how Diddy really moved and operated that came out in trial was really in the documentary. It's like an overview, but just an overview of a really bad man. But it wasn't when it says reckoning, it wasn't like these real. We found out so much shit in the documentaries, in trial. None of that was used. And the reason I bring up Sean G on this is because he has a theory, and I actually believe that theory. I think 50 really glanced over the intricate details that came out in trial because those reflect on his baby mama. I'm gonna keep it a beat.
Yo, Curtis. Hey, Curtis. Good morning. I just wanted to know if this part was in the documentary. I still ain't watched it yet, but I think I'm gonna watch it today or tomorrow. This is my notes. I was an in-courtroom observer on the 24th floor in the overflow at the Puffy trial. I took notes. I was there every day. Jane Doe, on the stand, your girl that Puff took from you, she said that from February to May 2021, her and Puff like to have porn playing, and she would dress in provocative lingerie. She would dress in provocative lingerie, right? And that dress in provocative lingerie, and her and Puff would have sex for 12 to 24 hours. And she would rub baby oil on him. Jane Doe would rub baby oil all over Puff, and Puff would rub baby oil all over Jane Doe, all over his body. All over his body. And Puffy would get the red light bulbs. They would have red light bulbs in the room. Curtis, they would take out the white light bulbs and screw in red light bulbs.
I'm going to be honest. And if we really think about it, like, obviously you had channels like me, you had Sean G and other people that kind of cover the trial intricately. I thought the documentary would also really crystallize, like, find some of the hotel workers that may have walked into these rooms. Because remember, they were paying up to $50,000 in damages. That's where the documentary missed the mark for me. And I get it. This wasn't just a documentary about the freak-offs or the freakniks that he was kind of having leading up to this federal charge. It was more about his entire life. And I get it. It's called Reckoning. So it's not only about the trial. It's about, like, painting this guy as this, guy who's drunk off power. But I was hoping to see a lot of what was brought out in court brought to life. Find the hotel workers who would find the state of the room where all of the couches or sheets are baby oil stained, and they would find routinely Diddy for damages, and one hotel find him like up to $50,000 in damages for the freak-offs, But I don't know. Maybe that was a part that hit too close to home, and respectfully to 50. Like, nah, man, like, he did put, obviously, Cassie in there, but Jane Doe is not in there. Cassie's in there, Capricorn Clark. Dawn is mentioned in there, but she's not featured in there. Kalina is in there. His baby mom is not in there.
And she would rub baby oil on Puff. Puff would rub baby oil on her. I loved the sexual experiences. Felt exhilarating.
Shout out to Patterson, by the way.
I loved Puffy, P with the circle. That was my symbol for Puff. Very much. So she was in love with Puff. But you was in love with her. She was in love with Puff. This was at the trial. This is Jane Doe's testimony. Maureen called me. This was the direct examination. when I got home, they had a threesome with Don from Cowboys and Angels. That was a
all of that's missing. Like the intricate part of how Diddy got to it shows how he got to power and how he may have committed other crimes, which that's where the documentary loses me. You know, I could show you, like, how could you guys like give Lil Rod the runway to talk about like unfounded things like, oh yeah, I think Diddy and Justin shot someone, right? But not really get into what came out in court, because what this guy is saying is like, we don't know if it's true. Hold on, here we go. Here's some of it.
No, bro, I'm not letting you get out of this. Like, you gonna have to answer this. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, my brother, are you
work at his house? This little ride over here, we're in Combs Entertainment, and I just start patching him up in the.
Here we go. How do you put this in a documentary? Which is like, no one has ever. There's not even a police report about this. Lil Rod, and you're gonna hear Lil Rod say it. He says, "Oh, the guy who got shot, I'd never seen again." So this is like, we don't even know if it's true. Yet all the things that came out in court is ignored.
What y'all doing? He's like, yo, running down. Like, what y'all doing? He's like, yo, it can be. It did not happen. Fahim just there on the scene, just able.
To me, why include that but not include some other shit? Like, because there's no proof of this.
Freak off. A freak off was 3 people: Puff, Jane Doe, and a male escort. That was it. They did a freak off with Don. When I got home after the freak off, I felt exhilarated. It was fun, taboo, sexy, and crazy. That night opened the Pandora's box, a door that was open that I couldn't shut. Sean J podcast was sold. Don't never stop. Patterson, New Jersey.
He was going. He been going crazy on he loves Diddy. I ain't gonna lie to you. He been going crazy on 50 because he thinks 50, is doing this pretty much a smear campaign. Here we go. We played this already, I believe.
Hey, yo, Curtis, I still ain't seen the documentary yet, the one you put out on Netflix, but they told me that Capricorn Clark is in there. Did Capricorn Clark tell you that at the trial, on the stand, under oath, testimony came out that she was entrusted with a bunch of diamond jewelry, very expensive jewelry that belonged to Puffy that went missing, and she was the last one with it. Did that come out on the stand? Did that come out in the documentary? Let me tell you what happened. Capricorn Clark was in charge of the jewelry, big time jewelry, $100,000, diamonds, all of that. It got missing. Puffy got with her, made her go take lie detector tests to see if she was telling the truth about how the jewelry got missing. Long story short, Capricorn Clark gets fired. When she gets fired, she goes to work for Madonna. Works for Madonna for a little while.
Okay, he's kind of going through the trial stuff. I've been told that the part I'm looking for is what Joel said. Joel's telling me where to find it. It's in episode 1 at the start. Where is that? Oh, is this one? At the start. Here we go. Oh, here we go.
We need the core theme to be.
Oh, okay. So this is how it starts.
I want to have a life to be able to live. It's really going to be hard for me to take more hits than I take it. God forbid, get in front of a jury and have a chance. And so I'm having this emergency call because something has to give.
We need the core theme to be, you didn't do anything wrong.
Whoa, is that people on the other side, like kind of watching him, like cops and shit?
It's really going to be hard for me to take more hits than I take it. God forbid, get in front of a jury and have a chance. And so I'm having this emergency
Who are these people?
call because something has to give.
We need the core theme to be, you didn't do anything wrong. You know, you didn't do anything wrong on any front. And you've come to New York to face things head on. If anyone's ever paying any
So he's on the phone with Mark Agnifilo.
attention to what you've actually been doing, you've handled this with complete honor.
I don't think it's working. I've listened. I've been a superb client, as you said. I jumped on the plane. I'm coming to New York, but I'm just running around waiting.
Wow, I don't remember seeing this part. Yo, Diddy looks frazzled. Just look at his face, chat. Wow. Look at his face. You can tell he's a little bit fucked up.
Face things head on. If anyone's ever paying any attention to what you've actually been doing, you've handled this with complete honor.
I don't think it's working.
Wow.
I've listened. I've been a superb client, as you said. I jumped on the plane. I'm coming to New York, but I'm just running around waiting for a shoe to drop.
We're losing sight of the big picture, man. It's the middle of September and there's still no indictment.
Bro, then you have to have a spokesman. You have to have some sort of comms to constantly be pushing that, Mark. Because you may just be a person.
Now, this is where I think, and I don't care what nobody says, Diddy was right. And I told you, 6ix9ine, when he said he saw Diddy in lockup at MDC, he said to Diddy as well. Diddy was right early on by saying, we have to control this narrative. Every day there's erroneous lawsuits. I don't even know these people, but it's like a snowball effect. I look like a creep, a R word. I look like the worst. And yes, I'm here waiting for what's gonna happen, and I'm being a good, I'm being a good client for you guys, and I'm being, on my best behavior for this pending indictment. But bro, it's kind of dragging, and I'm looking worse and worse.
You just may watch CNN. You know what I'm saying? And there's 9 billion people in the world, and 7 billion of them is on Instagram and TikTok. And so you at the wrong place looking to see what the people with the
wow, yo, chat. You notice very subtle things. Like, for example, watch his finger just kind of tapping. You could tell bro, this is a high stress moment for Diddy.
To constantly be pushing that. Mark.
Just watch his head.
You may just be a person that you just may watch CNN. You know what I'm saying? And there's 9 billion people in the world, and 7 billion of them is on Instagram and TikTok. And so you at the wrong place looking to see what the people with the possible jurors are thinking. We have to find somebody that'll work with us, whether they from this country or from another country. It could be somebody that has dealt in the dirtiest dirty business of media.
Oh wow! So it kind of shows Diddy was like, yo, we gotta get a handle on this media stuff.
And propaganda.
I've seen the media portray me like I'm a gangster.
Just see the images, quickly.
Okay, all right, we'll leave it there. Wow. Now, there's a lot of. Where do you want us to go? Chat, yo, did y'all see what went down with the Streamer Awards? There's a bunch of drama there. Streamer Awards went down today. I know some of you guys might be like, yo, Ak, we don't care. I know. We have a lot of things to try to cover too tonight, all right? So, Streamer Awards went down tonight. And Kai Cenat was there. And there's an interesting moment where Kai Cenat gets joked on by a non-black person who, I don't know if they're the host or what, but they essentially referred to Kai Cenat as if he was Diddy. And it was like a poor joke, and I think a really horrible time joke. Oh, shit, look like he won a bunch of awards. And let me see if I can find it. And people were upset about this. Watch this, chat.
So Congratulations to you. Oh, and also, congrats on your new documentary with 50 Cent. That was you, right?
So, I'm not too sure who this person is, but they're making a weak joke, and they're like, congratulations to you on your new documentary with 50 Cent. Basically almost saying like, oh, yeah, Kai, you look like Diddy, right? But, I mean, Kai's the most popular streamer other than Speed in the world. A lot of people felt that poor timing. Why would you do it? He's here to show respect to the award show. Why, right? And looked like karma came instantly for her.
If you all gonna be on the mic, now turn this mic, now turn this shit on. Turn this shit on. If you all gonna be on the mic making jokes, at least let it be funny. If you all gonna be on the mic making jokes, at least let it be funny.
I thought it was.
Have a good night.
So, congratulations.
So it looks like, yeah, some people weren't that fond about them joking about Kai Cenat being Diddy in 50's new documentary. And, I mean, generally, I think I'm cool with jokes. You know, we're not going to just act like Kai's like, you know, you can't make jokes on him. I think the biggest problem here, it just wasn't funny. It wasn't funny, right? And I won't say it wasn't funny because of the Diddy aspect of it. It just felt awkward and it felt ignorant. And again, that might be the thin line between, yo, you just don't know how to joke, right?
Congratulations to you. Oh, and also, congrats on your new documentary with 50 Cent. That was you, right?
Funny part, you could tell Kai could see it coming. Like, he gives like this look and he's like, cringe. He gives the, all right, here comes the cringe.
So congratulations to you. Oh, and also, congrats on your new documentary with 50 Cent. That was you, right?
Anyway. Let me see. I think Kai wins some awards. Let me just see what awards he won. He probably won all them awards, right? Let's see. Give me a second.
And the winner is I Show Speed.
Okay. That was I Show Speed.
Dreams to not only act, but direct and write my own short film and movies. And I'm 100% going to indulge myself in that while enjoying the place that started all this, which is streaming. And one thing I want to say is no matter what, keep God in everything that you do. Do not ever forget about God at all. And I would love to end this with a quote that my good friend always says, and that's everybody preaches to everybody, be yourself, be yourself, be yourself. But as soon as people get on the internet, they tell you how to be. Thank you.
Okay. Did Aiden get any awards or am I tripping? Oh, damn. Now, there's like another moment that everybody's talking about. And yeah, we're not staying too long on that.
Yeah. Everyone knows.
He actually.
That was.
The other moment was India Love. I ain't gonna lie, these streamer awards is, I guess this is the Grammy for streamers. I don't know. Why does it say she's the most ran through streamer? What is this? Apparently, she tried to pull a Kanye moment. Apparently, breakout streamer went to Phase Adapt. And she wanted to do a Kanye moment and shout out Rakai and DDG. Hello. And this is what happened.
Hello. Real quick, y'all. I know Breakout Streamer of the Year went to Adapt. And congratulations, and we respect you for what you did. But Rakai should have won Breakout Streamer of the Year and DDG. I don't care what y'all say. Shout out Ricard and shout out Boo 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 Boo.
All right, so they booed her ass off stage.
Shout out Judy for hosting the event. Fuck India Love for ruining the event. And yeah, that's pretty much it, you know.
You know what's crazy? She was asking to fucking collab with FaZe.
Yeah, I know.
Remember
That's
that
why
one
she
day
did
in
that.
the living room?
I literally got it. Yeah, Chad. She was literally asking me to collab 2 days ago, and I said no because she wanted to do a makeover on me. I was like, what? So I was like, no. But
All right, so everybody's tight at India Love. Did Aiden even respond to it or no? Did Aiden even go? No, right? Chat, I have no idea what the criteria is for none of this shit. Who is this person? Oh, Pokemon? Sometimes I feel like I know the streamers, and then I realize I don't know shit. Wait, Flight 1?
Using the chat!
The streamer award goes to Flight.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Stand up! W's in the chat! The chat!
Wait, how do you receive this award at home?
Easy chat!
Yo, we wanted some y'all word because of y'all, bro. We got the speech coming in right here. Stay inspirational.
Isn't this what's that nigga name? Phantom? Oh, they escorted India Love out? Oh, after she tried to do a Kanye shit. Okay, I get it. They call this nigga Playboy Max. Hilarious. Okay, all right, anyway. Let's get some other shit. Oh, yo, chat, did y'all see this, like, rumor? Somebody actually hit me on a DM about this, and I forgot to bring it up. So remember the infamous, like, Jay-Z fight, right? So, well, not fight necessarily, but Jay-Z... The hell? Okay, remember the infamous Jay-Z Solange hotel moment, right? Where they're in the elevator, Jay-Z comes on with his wife, Beyonce, and Solange comes there, and there's the bodyguard, and all of a sudden, you know, they start getting active up in that bitch, okay? Basically, she's getting in his face, she starts swinging on him, they're trying to control her, Beyonce's, like, on the opposite side, she's like, yo, listen, I ain't gonna fuck up my dress and my makeup. And clearly people said, well, number one, if the sister of the wife is fucking up the husband and the wife doesn't step in to stop her sister, maybe she agrees with the sister, which a lot of people felt like that was about, you know, Becky with the long hair, right? So this happened. The security guard is, you know, the kicks is happening. By the way, I always said them Taekwondo classes paid off for Jay because when she was like trying to punch that nigga definitely did block it a couple times. I can't even lie. Look, that boy Jay did have his defense up on some Floyd shit. Right? Ew, look, see? Yeah, and I ain't gonna lie. Them Taekwondo classes definitely paid off. And I always said, Jay, no matter what I say about him, he's a legend for in this moment, like not reacting. Jay's a legend. Yo, I come from Jamaica. Stop playing with me. Like, yo, Jesus take the wheel. You start doing all this type of shit. But Jay, This is why I know Jay's built for all of this. Because in a moment that, I don't know, maybe he is thinking about cameras, but he definitely held his composure, did not react, did not do anything, did not hit back, did not, he was just chilling. By the way, Beyonce's here. My boy was bobbing and waving. I think she spit on him or something like that. He's just chilling. Yeah, Beyonce was just sitting here calm. She didn't give two fucks. Look. Oh, the kick happened. Look. Oh. Hey, yo. Nah, Jay was on time and still. I ain't gonna lie, though. This security could have definitely had her pinned against the wall. The security wanted Jay to get his ass kicked, too. Let's keep it a beat. I've always said Solange is like, you know how they talk about Chris Brown? Solange is worse. She never got criminally charged, prosecuted for none of that. We seen Ray Rice in his hotel elevator video. He fucking got charged and convicted, I believe. Yo, Beyonce looks so calm right here. I feel like Beyonce must have seen the camera. Yo, this nigga trying to get out of the elevator is crazy as hell. She is still cussing out Jay. Still cussing out Jay. Beyonce's chilling there. Beyonce's not saying a word. Calm down, Solange. I'm sorry that the greatest rapper don't want you. Damn, she's cussing this nigga out. Anyway. Long story short, Jay's like, let me get out of here. Long story short is there's some new information coming out. It's unverified, but it's saying that the Jay-Z Solange fight was over Rachel Roy, which I don't know if this is true, but like that's crazy if it was. They're claiming it's over Rachel Roy. Check this out.
Solange elevator fight is back in the spotlight, and now an eyewitness from the 2014 Met Gala says he knows exactly what set it off. Fashion designer Oscar G. Lopez, who made Rachel Roy's gown that night, claims Jay-Z complimented Roy's dress, and Solange felt the comment crossed a line. Minutes later, Solange swung at Jay-Z in the Standard Hotel elevator, while Beyonce stood between them, a clip that turned into one of the
Okay. Now, we're going to get into the Rachel Roy in a bit, but it's kind of interesting. So, they're saying that, and now everybody's reporting it. This is the fashion designer Rachel Roy is shedding light on what really went down. Okay, Oscar Lopez created the dress, blah, blah. Okay, cool. Corner Lopez knows attacked her brother-in-law because he complimented Rachel Roy's dress. Beyonce's sisters felt it was not appropriate, so it was kind of drama there, the designer alleged. At the time, Knowles was 39, was caught on security camera. Wait, is that Solange? Solange was 39? How old is Solange? Lunging at Empire State Miner rapper who's now 56. Oh, now they're that age. While exiting the Met Gala party and punching and kicking him several times while Beyonce looked on. Fans have speculated what it had to do with, and apparently they're saying it was reported to Jay-Z's reported infidelity, and that Rachel Roy, a former friend of Solange, was his affair partner. Now, this is explosive, chat. At the time, Page 6 reported that Solange had become drunk at an after party and got into an argument with Roy. U.S. Weekly quoted an anonymous source saying that Cranes in the Sky singer had flipped out over something Jay-Z said, and Knowles and Jay-Z later released a joint statement calling the incident an unfortunate and a private matter that has played out in public. The most important thing is that our family has worked through it all. Now, this is the dress that Rachel Roy was wearing. So last night, this is some stylists. I had the honor of dressing Rachel Roy for the 2014 Met Gala. I made her this black French lace gown with a choker neckline. Okay, cool. So now they're claiming, and this is where it gets deeper and like interesting, right? So Rachel Roy is like the former woman of Dame Dash. Chat. Now, you get where I'm going with this, right? if this is remotely true, and I don't know if it's true, so I'm just going to say allegedly here with everything. If Solange gets mad at Jay-Z for complimenting Rachel Roy's dress, maybe over a potential idea or thing that Jay-Z had with Rachel Roy, you know what it says? Yo, Jay-Z was on some Diddy shit. Jay-Z was smashing Dame Dash girl like how Diddy was smashing 50's girl. Right? Look, Rachel Roy, Dame Dash, chat. They were married from 2005 to 2009. They got 2 daughters together. And yeah, if in 2014, which is 5 years after the marriage, Jay-Z is fucking getting attacked by his wife's sister over supposedly an affair with Rachel Roy, that would mean he did exactly what Diddy did to 50. Oh, that's your baby mom's? All right, I'm smashing her now. And that might be a way to get back at you. Now, this is all speculative, chat, because we really don't know if all this is true, but this has now come from an eyewitness that supposedly was there. They're saying it was over Rachel Roy, and they're saying that it was over some affair that Jay may have been having with Rachel Roy. Now we kind of get to, like, if we had to put things together, did Jay-Z fuck Rachel Roy out of revenge for what him and Dame Dash had going on? Right? Think about it. Wait, Rachel Roy plays...
You remember Rachel, the one allegedly in the middle of the Solange elevator beatdown.
Oh, some people knew this. Oh, never mind. I thought this was new information. Oh, chat, didn't I tell you, bro? All of these scandals is always a woman. But I didn't know Jay-Z was on that Drake Diddy shit. And what I mean by that is, fuck your ops bitch. That's that Drake Diddy shit. Diddy, I believe, specifically wanted Daphne Joy because Daphne Joy was the baby mama of 50, and he wanted to punch dick up in her stomach, and he wanted to get her freaked off and smutted out that 50 had to accept that L, that every time he saw her, she was looking like a glazed donut with basically the semen from the freak off and the stench of the baby oil, the Astroglide, and all that shit on her body. I think he picked Daphne Joy specifically to get at 50. Now we get to find out so many women in the world. Let's say if this affair is true. Why would Jay-Z want to be with Dame's ex-girl?
You know who Rachel is. Mm-hmm.
Somebody said, do you see what the alcohol did to Wendy? Nigga, Wendy was off way more than alcohol. Coke, pills, all type of shit. That ain't alcohol, gang. What happened to Wendy is not alcohol. Wendy said she used to do lines of coke before she got on air. They said that they had drug tests. Go read Wendy's book. Wendy's the GOAT, and I love Wendy. I'll never slander her a day in my life. Wendy said that up at WBLS, they were doing drug tests, and she was off coke. She used to do a line of coke during commercials. She admitted this in her book. Go read it. Nigga, I know about the queen. She said someone tipped her off like, yo, they're about to have a drug test tomorrow. She's been high off coke every day. She says she got a baby's diaper and squeezed the pee out of a baby's diaper into something to bring into work to use clean pee to pass the drug test. That's what, when you talk about sacrifices, she wanted to be on air so bad, but she was strung out on coke. She took pee from a baby's diaper and squeezed it out and brought it in to pass that fucking drug test. So when y'all come on, you gotta get to, yo, I know all the facts. This is why I keep saying, everybody who sits on this mic right here and talks, yeah, it's either Howard Stern, and obviously there's people before them, but it's either Howard Stern or Wendy. And we all fall up under Wendy if we talking about hip-hop adjacent shit because it goes into gossip. It's not just only music talk we're having. Remember that, okay? Y'all never heard that story? Yeah, I think it's a joke. Wendy gave her life for this shit. Wendy Williams, baby diaper. Let me see this baby diaper story. Let's see, where's the story at? It's in her book. Baby diaper. Let me see. Drug test. Let me see. It's in her book, but she didn't really speak on it a bunch. She saved, like, if you ever read her book shows how she went through it all. Also, her book shows how she says she knew Diddy was gay. Who else was gay? She knew Mr. C was gay. All of that shit. Okay, all right. I'm trying to find the story. She revisits Yeah, her relationship with cocaine was once the most important. It was cocaine, bro. Let me see. Wendy Williams, urine test cocaine. And she had to pass a test. WBLS. It's in her book. I don't know. I can't find it here. All right. Anyway, you guys can go read her book. Anyway, whatever. Shout out to her. She's under guardianship.
Well, you didn't know this part.
Y'all, forget what you heard. Rachel Roy really got the upper hand at the end of the day. Despite everyone coming for her over the Becky with the good hair saga, Rachel has...
Wait, is this Becky with the good hair? I thought it... Ain't no way... Yo, if I'm Jay, I'm cheating at least a couple... Nah, let's be honest, you can't cheat too much. Oh, so this is Becky with the good hair.
Still got everything she wanted and her fashion line is still going, even though she left the mess behind her. From the minute she got with Dame Dash, she convinced him to invest in her fashion line and then dumped him when he went broke. People have been calling her out for playing with him for years, but that wasn't enough to stop Rachel from getting what she wanted at the end. From her fashion line going bankrupt to losing her lifestyle, Rachel was seeing it all crashing in front of her. So for Rachel, she did what she needed to do just to keep going and look for another millionaire that could give her the same resources, results, and connections that Dame Dash was giving her. It's just that, and that person just so happened to be Jay-Z. But according to Rachel, she allegedly did what any woman in her shoes would have done. Let's get into this mess, y'all, because the lore behind Rachel is one heck of a wild story. Time we ever heard of Rachel Roy was when she began going public with Dame Dash, and eventually she snagged him. But Rachel has been on the baller/rapper route for a long time. She first got married to Yin Kader, a former NBA player, but divorced him just before his death in 2004. Then she and Dame Dash got married in 2004 and 2005 and stayed married for 4 years until their split in 2009. But their story, even before they got married and divorced, is one heck of a roller coaster. Y'all, it looks like Rachel has been working to get the hooks on Dame Dash for a while now. Right now, Dame Dash and Jay-Z can't even see eye to eye anymore, especially with the way that Rockefeller came crashing down. But back in the day, when Jay-Z and Damon Dash were actually friends and their label was going strong, the two of them used to share women all the time. That ain't no secret. And word on the street is that Rachel Roy was one of those women. So Rachel was allegedly already in their lives from the get-go. However, all of that went out the window once Dame got with Aaliyah. Dame was madly in love with Aaliyah, and it was all about her. So whatever he and Rachel had going on immediately came to a screeching halt. But at one point, Rachel wasn't going anywhere. She and Dame had already had their daughter Ava Dash, and there was no way to shut the door on her completely. So after Aaliyah passed, guess who was waiting around in the wings for Dame Dash to come back and get her? Yep, Rachel Roy. And it didn't take them long to finally get married. And girl, when I tell you that their relationship had everyone gagged, I mean gagged. People who had seen the two of them together felt like there was absolutely no chemistry between them.
Yo, I see why, for me, I can see why I think Dame going through a lot of turmoil, man. Yo, Dame was really that guy back in the day, bro. Dame was fucking all the girls that Jay wanted. Like, let's think about this. Jay wanted Aaliyah. Dame was in that. Jay wanted her. Jay couldn't get her. Jay didn't get her first. Dame was in it. Yo, how your executive getting all the bitches you should be fucking, and you're the star? The only one he got was Beyonce, bro.
And they also wondered how Rachel Roy was able to entertain and
you know what it is? Back in the day, I think if you put Jay and Dame in a room, Jay probably dirty. I'm making this up, so this could be a lot. Dame probably dirty Mac. He gonna over talk. He the life of the, he's a loud guy. He's joking on you. He's probably trying to clown you, whatever. He's the type of nigga who he gonna do the most to get the girl. And look like he routinely got the girl.
Compliment Dame's personality and even louder behavior most of the time. However, it didn't take long to see why she linked up with him and stayed for as long as she did. Before they got married, Rachel had been grinding all this time as a fashion intern, waiting for the day that she would finally get her big break and get a come up in order to make a name for herself as a brand. But if any of that was gonna happen, she needed connections and access to the right people and places, and Dame was the right person to give her just that. He already started with Rockaware clothing line, and he also did State Property and C. Ronson, and they were all relatively successful. So not long after they got married, Rachel went from being a fashion intern to a crazy popular and successful brand. Everyone was wearing her clothes, from Michelle Obama to Oprah to other celebs like Kate Hudson and Jennifer Garner and Ava Mendez, Kim Kardashian, and even Iman. And with how cutthroat the fashion industry can be, Rachel may not have been able to pull all of that off if it wasn't for Dame Dash, and the brand was reaching new heights more than anyone could have ever imagined. But while her brand kept breaking milestones, Dame started to experience money issues that no one saw coming. He basically went from being one of the most successful black men in Hollywood to losing his assets trying to settle his piling debts. Now, if you ask Dame, he'll tell you that he went broke investing in his dreams. But this was the same man who had 2 lofts in Tribeca, a home in London, another mansion in New Jersey, and a villa in Beverly Hills. Damn. Dame Dash was spending recklessly while trying to hold on to Rockefeller and kept on sinking money into very unsuccessful business ventures.
I would love to do the things Dame did. Fly private for 5 years straight. Buy 2 mansions in London. You got a mansion in London just for your niggas, and then a personal mansion in London for something else, or renting them or whatever. You just got mansions in London. We not even from London. Yeah. We just going to fucking London, hanging out, not saying, I put on my artists, or really, more Jim and Jewels, but we was all Dipset, SAS, just out in London spending money. I would love to have 2 lofts in Tribeca right around the corner for each other. $20,000 for this loft, $20,000 for that loft around the corner. So you got $40,000 a month.
But Rachel didn't seem too bothered by anything going on with Dame. In fact, she just piled on to his stack of lawsuits by filing for divorce. She wasn't even looking for spousal support because Dame was nothing more than dead weight while he was drowning in financial trouble. Damn. Her brand was still doing well, and there wasn't any reason to bring Dame along for that ride. So she
is her brand still popping, Rachel Roy?
Ties with him and moved straight out without looking back. But y'all, it didn't take long for Rachel Roy to start looking for some backup again when her fashion line started to face some serious trouble. According to multiple sources close to the situation, in 2013, the Jones Group, which had a majority stake in Roy's fashion line, claimed that they had lost millions back in her line and planned to sell the trademarks for $15 million to make up for the money they'd lost. Rachel needed to move fast and immediately took them to court to stop the sale, and thankfully she was able to settle with them out of court. But then there was another massive problem waiting for her because she couldn't afford the multi-million-dollar price tag to buy her business back, and she needed to find anyone who could back her up and help her get back on track once again. And that right person just so happened to allegedly be Jay-Z. One of the people she had a thing with right before she was trying to get her way into the fashion industry. But chill, here's where it gets super messy. Rumors of Jay-Z stepping out on Beyonce had been going on as far back as 2013, and then Solange going after Jay-Z only fueled these rumors that something wasn't right in the Carter household. Then Beyonce came out with Lemonade in 2016, basically confirming that Jay-Z had stepped out on her with Becky with the good hair, and that just sent fans spiraling because everyone was trying to figure out who Jay-Z was stepping out on Beyonce for. And here's where things get a bit more interesting. As fans were trying to figure out out who Beyonce was talking about, Rachel posted a picture seemingly taunting Beyonce.
Oh, good hair don't care, but we will take the good lighting for selfies or self-truths. Oh, shit.
Say with the caption, good hair don't care, but we will take good lighting for selfies or self-truths anyway. And baby, that was all it took to get the internet into a frenzy. People weren't gonna let her live that down, and they filled her comments with bee emojis and even went as far as changing her profile on Wikipedia. But that only lasted a while, because even with all that, Rachel Roy still got what she wanted. Her brand is up and running once again, and regardless of what people thought, she always got what she wanted out of the situation and left relatively unscathed. Now, even when people think about Jay-Z cheating and stepping out like that, Rachel's name really isn't brought into the conversation.
That's true.
So I guess for Rachel, a win is a win.
Damn. I wonder how Dame feels about that. Has Dame spoke about this? Dame dash Jay-Z Rachel Roy. Oh, he spoke about 9
You
years
were married at one point to Rachel Roy. That relationship ended in divorce, and there are whispers that Lemonade, the Becky with the good hair.
Y'all asking me that? That's y'all asking me that? I would just think y'all would ask me not a gossipy, chatty question, because I don't really care about none of that.
And here's why I'm going with this.
Guilty. Yep. Guilty. Yeah, that's guilty. Yep. There you go.
I'm asking that when these types of things affect you, not on a public level, but on a private level as a man, how have you been able to deal with that and continue to keep going? It's not about what are they saying. What I'm asking you as a man, not on the public side, on a personal side,
public
spiritually.
right now, and we front everybody.
No, but I'm saying, but I'm asking you personally.
What I'm saying
how
is
do you get up from that?
You keep asking me the same question. I don't take it as serious as you do. I really don't listen to public media or social.
Nah, Jay fucked this bitch, man. Fuck. Nah, Jay fucked this bitch. Damn. Yo, I keep telling you, bro, when we look back at the history of what's going on in the music business, it's always a nigga who fucked another nigga's bitch, bro. You feel me? There's a girl at the center of it. King Von, young boy, got Jania somewhere in the midst. Like, come on, bro. Come on. There's always a woman, bro. Always a woman.
I don't really care.
No. But again, I didn't say public. I said, how does it affect you?
But I'm telling you, it doesn't affect me at all. So whatever they're saying out there doesn't affect me in here. I got my girl, I got my woman, I got my children. That's all that affects me. That social network. I don't.
Damn, why did I forget this?
He does move if it's not like that doing, then he won't get that corporate check. You know what I'm saying? I'm not corporate, so we have a completely different mentality for just that. Like if
Nah, this makes sense. This makes sense. Oh, it said addresses claims he tried to talk to Beyonce. Oh yeah, if he tried to talk to Beyonce back in the day, yeah, I can see why Jay had it up for him.
Number at this Victoria's Secret show, but to me, she was like a little girl, so I was going after Giselle.
Oh, yo, look at Dame. Look at Dame. Look at Dame trying to make it seem like, when Jay got with Beyonce, she a little girl.
I mean, I ran into it once, and I think I got a number at this Victoria's Secret show, but to me, she was like a little girl, so I was going after Giselle. I wasn't going it was like Giselle, everybody. Naomi Campbell was a lot of people that she hadn't realized her potential yet. But it was because I honestly was like, I'll call you to talk to you. But that was like a year or two before that she wasn't, she was probably like almost, like she was, I don't want to say this because it'll trigger too much. So, but I never tried to talk to her after that. We're rock stars. So yes, definitely, it wasn't like I never looked at one of his girls and said, I'm gonna smash her. That never happened. Once he would hit the chick, then I'm not fucking with it. But before, we would go hard. But he would do that a lot. Like,
oh, see? So you basically saying, you say, yo, Jay would he would get with a girl like Aaliyah, and Jay would still be trying to fuck her. Oh, Jay was a slimy nigga.
Girls, again, I'll put it in the book, but I never chased his chicks, but sometimes if there was a choice, they would choose me a lot, and sometimes they would choose him. But Aaliyah hadn't if he would have touched her physically at all, any penetration or anything like that, then I could have never wifed her. That would have never. I'm not a guy that's ever gonna wife a girl that my friends. I'm not ever gonna do that. You understand what I'm saying? I couldn't do that. I can't walk in the room and they got that connection. Never. So the only reason why we were both going at her, but she chose me. That's all. But it wasn't like I was trying to take his girl. I mean, he might have had PTSD because of that, which I'm sure he did.
Yo, he said that nigga Jay had PTSD from Dame keep taking his bitches.
No, I can't help how a girl feels, but I wouldn't.
Yo, chat. I'm gonna keep it a beat. I'm now starting to realize. I know that played a part into it too. Jay's ego. You're the guy. Yeah, maybe it started as friendly, like y'all competing for chicks, but like, man, at a certain point, because I could imagine it was getting a little bit messy too. Like, you know what I mean? Dame doing a little bit too much to get these chicks. Jay like, yo, what the fuck? Like, and yeah, it was inevitable. You never compete with your, if you want somebody to be a friend, and trust me, I learned this because in college, that's all I did. Me and the homies, all we did was compete over women. And we're not compete over women, but we would compete about who got the most women. The problem only came when we competed over the same women. And that became a problem because you would see, like, there would be things that would go down. Like, I think I told you that story already, right? Did I ever tell you the story where my homie recorded me? I ever told you that? That it then kills the friendship where you're like, damn, you doing the most to just get with the chick. Like, bro, like, I don't know if I fuck with you that much anymore. And that erodes the friendship over time. Right? I probably told you that story already.
He knows I would never do that. I don't even listen to Beyonce records because I don't want to fuck her. I don't want to see her shake her body. Even though Jay, I still consider my brother. I don't even really know what she looks like.
Wait, I never told you that story? Okay. Some people know the story. I'll make it real quick. Yo, I'm in college. I'm a DJ. I'm like literally, bro, I ain't gonna cap with you. So, this is like the latter years of my college career. I'm feeling like the man now. I'm gonna keep it a bean. Like, you know what I mean? This is the most women I've ever gotten. I had like about 5 or 6 chicks. Like, I felt like I had a roster. You know what I mean? I knew I was the nigga when I'm like, damn, I got enough women like that I could cycle through that could be on a basketball team, right? But I'm a popping DJ at the time, right? I'm about to leave Rutgers. So this is right before, 2 years before YouTube kind of pops off. So this is like 2012. This is like 2012. YouTube kind of pops off like 14 for me. Okay, bet. So I'm doing I'm doing that, and there's a chick that's kind of on the roster, but like she almost like a bench player. I'm not saying like facetiously or like trying to diss it. I'm just saying like, bro, I see her once in a while. I don't really give 2 fucks like that, right? You know what I mean? Like I see her once every 2 weeks. She was a freshman, I was a senior, right? I see her once every 2 weeks, and in reality, like, a little bit TMI here, chat. I only kept her on the squad because she was good at just, she was like a brain surgeon. I got to keep it a bean. She was one of them chicks that she coming to college, she a virgin. Anyway, I learned a couple lessons with this. She would come to the crib, whatever. We do it, whatever. And the whole time I'm thinking, I'm like, why am I even fucking with this virgin, bro? Like, you know what I mean? But whatever. I made the fatal mistakes and learned from me. I used to, because now I'm feeling like I'm the guy. I start bragging to my homies about, yo, I got this girl, that girl, this girl, that girl. You feel me? And I would brag about this girl on how, like, her skills of being a brain surgeon was. I'm like, yo, this chick is fire. You feel me? Now, that's rule number 1. I want to tell all y'all men this in life. And this applies to women too. Women, don't go tell your other homegirls about how your man fuck you too good. Your girl gonna want to try that man out. And niggas, don't tell your mans about how you got the chick that's the throat goat and that she got the wettest shit you've ever seen, nigga. It's wetter than the motherfucking Pacific. That nigga is like, especially if she keep coming around, one day, you never know, right? I'm telling you, trust me on this. And I know some of y'all gonna be like, nah, act, that's just the niggas you with. See, that's why I gotta put everything in the context. Because these weren't like, Shorty wasn't my girlfriend, right? Shorty's just a girl that, like, you know what I mean, come around once in a while. So, like, the homies looking at you just hit it. And you know how niggas are. Oh, okay, like, you're not that serious about her. You got other girls. So one of my boys, like, behind my back, I didn't even know. He started hitting it. Remember, she told me she a virgin. He started cracking. Actually, he took her virginity. I ain't gonna lie to you. But he was doing the shit I wasn't doing. Because I was just treating her like, I'm like, yo, whenever she's ready to lose it, she'll let me know. Type shit. She's like the 6th person on my roster. I don't give a fuck. Anyway, I found out later, right? The way I found out was mad funny. It was like the end of the year. It was the biggest event. I think Schoolboy Q, if y'all go back to the timeline of me being in college, Schoolboy Q, we just brought him to Rutgers University and he performed. Either Schoolboy Q or Kendrick. It might be Kendrick. Ooh, interesting. 2012, Unity Day, Kendrick Lamar. I think it might have been Kendrick. Oh my God, it's just, fuck. You're not even gonna find it. Oh, I got Rutgers University. That's the only time I've ever seen Kendrick in my life, by the way. Yeah. Performs at Rutgers University. Yeah.
No herb.
Yeah, this is me right here. This is fucking Kendrick. This is me. This is my laptop. I don't know who Kendrick DJ was, but I let Kendrick DJ use my laptop. I was DJing the event. This is Kendrick, right? So everything I'm saying, I'm not just shooting from the air, nigga. After this, we had an after party. Oh, by the way, the nigga who did it, he was the president of the org. He's right here. The nigga who didn't stand next, because he's my man, right? You feel me? Like, we were a 1-2 tag team that's on some shit. You feel me? Like, he would put me as the big DJ to DJ the event. I lived with him. This was his organization was called Black Student Union, and this is 2012. We do a party after this, right? So it was like an after party. Kendrick ain't coming to the party. Clearly, we paid Kendrick $3,500, right? You know what I mean? Like, he came out. I think he had brought Schoolboy Q the first year, and then the second year we paid Schoolboy Q $3,500, and he brought Absol, and then the third year we booked Absol. Anyway, I don't know why. It was just cheaper than anybody on the East Coast. Everybody on the East Coast was just wilding with prices. You feel me? And like, we had a small budget, at least the organization. So anyway, so here's the story. We're doing the after party. I think it's this year, or maybe it's the next year, which is, it would be 13, and that year would be Schoolboy Q. So that would be Rutgers University, Schoolboy Q. Yeah, right here. Yeah. Oh, yeah, this is it. So it's one of those. Either when Kendrick or Schoolboy Q came there. And we have this after party. So this, I'm telling you how I found out my man is smashing Shorty. Okay, bet. So now, all right, I was doing both events. Matter of fact, I think I got a vlog. Rutgers University, Academic Schoolboy Q. I think I did a vlog. Because I had like the hands on the wheel. Oh yeah, it's on Academics TV. Like, these are all facts I'm telling you, Chad. Like, there's an old channel called Academics TV. You can go watch it 13 years ago, right? So this is me DJing the shit. I couldn't use the real music, blah, blah, da-da-da. Okay, cool. All right, cool. And then I had to DJ right after. Oh, Absol was there too, look. See, Absol. I told you. No lies detected, right? Bet. Did they get a shout out from us? All right, whatever. Okay, cool. It wasn't that packed, I ain't gonna lie to you, but you know, we made the best. Oh, you see that blind ass bitch right here? Okay, there you go. And then bet, let me see.
You gotta switch it up, you gotta keep people interested, because when you still that shit sound.
Okay, bet. All good. And yeah. Anyway, So after this happens, oh, my man's is back there again. I won't show him because I want to dox him. So I really think it's a Kendrick thing. But I think we had a lit after party for the Kendrick shit. I think we had a mid after party, but I think it was for Schoolboy Q. Anyway, the point is this. I do this event, and I had another event, and then I had the after party. So I was like, bro, at this point, I'm just DJing a lot, my nigga. Like, yo, I got my Mazda 3. I would put a big-ass speaker in the front seat, and my mans would be in the back. Like, it was crazy. With the tops. And the tops were just speakers. They're called tops, if you DJ, you know. Anyway, so I go to the after party, and, it's one of those things as a DJ, like, you kind of invite everybody to the after party, right? So, really, I'm inviting all girls I'm fucking with. Right? Why? Because I just want the party to be packed. You know what I mean? Of course. By the way, rule of thumb, never invite all your girls to a party. Like, just, if you're fucking with multiple girls, you're in college, do not do that. But I'm a DJ. I just want it to be lit. So I'm inviting everybody, and I'm like, it's not like I'm going to be doing PDA or nothing like that. I'm like, just everybody come to the party. I just need to get Ack had the crazy after party. Did it. Wow. Bet. So I had like one of my main chicks, she was with me, and then the girl in question that we talking about, she told me she was coming. But I was like, all right, yeah, you should pull up, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, she pulls up with my mans. Chat, she pulls up with my mans, right? So she pulls up with my mans, which, again, I don't want to dox him or whatever, but let's get to, where's the one with Kendrick on stage? Yeah. But yeah, that's Kendrick. Then okay. Where the fuck? I'm in the back somewhere. You know how I go. Oh, right here. Right here. Okay, so this is me. This is my man's, right? So cool. We go to the after party. My main chick kind of with me. She behind the DJ booth. The girl who's fucking. Let me tell you, that's another thing too. Chat, you ever because I know how to read Instagrams these days. Anytime I see a chick video from behind the DJ booth, she's sucking the DJ's dick. Trust me, I was the guy. So anytime a girl's behind a DJ booth, it's never no good. Just always know she fucking a DJ. Trust. So I got my main chick on campus that's there. But I do know other girls I'm rocking with is in the building, but it's so many. It's going to be like 400 people, so who cares? Everybody's in the building, but I remember watching when Shorty, who I was fucking with, but she a virgin, allegedly, came in the building when she came with my mans. I'm like, my mans live with me. He probably just, he run the org. He probably giving out rides. It's college. Not everybody have a car. I did look over one time. She kind of dancing aggressively on my mans. And I'm like, wait, hold on. But I can't say nothing. I got a girl with me. I can't be like, yo, what's going on over there? So I just let it go, whatever type shit, right? Eventually, my man was hitting for like a month or two. He confronts her because here's the problem too. The reason why you shouldn't compete over the same woman with your mans, everything I'm saying is facts. Like anybody who's been in these situations, been in college, you've lived life a little bit, you're gonna be like, nah, I understand. The reason why you don't compete over it's cool if you're in your friend group. This is young shit. This is not no grown man shit. So let me let you know this. I'm not jacking this as some grown man shit. I'm jacking this as I'm in college and we're doing college a little bit immature shit. We're competing on who could fuck the most girls every semester. I'm being honest. Like that's like the competitions we had. Like yo, who gonna fuck the most chicks? You know what I mean? Be like, yo, I fucked a new chick. Be like, wait, how much you at? Nigga, I'm at 5 this semester. Nigga, be like, damn, nigga, I'm at 3. Like, it was immature. Trust me. I get it. But, at that time, you're 19, 20, 21. That's what it was, right? But I'm giving y'all advice. Never compete over the same woman with a friend. I'm going to tell you why. You never know when your friend care about that woman more than you. And what I mean by that is that sometimes you're doing it, like for me, I was doing it out of ego. He liked the girl. So I'm thinking, may the best man win. I got a few things going for me. I'm like, I'm the most lit DJ. I'm this guy. Like I'm basically like in college, it's all about status. Football players, I'm breaking down college for y'all. Football players fuck all the bitches. Like you can't go against a football player because most colleges that have a football team that's good, they run shit. So If a football player wants a bitch, you have no chance. Then the basketball team, depending on where you at. If you have a whack basketball team, maybe not, but then the basketball team. Don't try to compete with a basketball player for a bitch. Like, he's going to win. Okay. Depending on certain places, you may have the soccer team. Like Rutgers, we had a good soccer team or whatever. But then it gets to frat boys. Now, we're black, so we're not talking about white frat boys. We're talking about D9 shit, right? Which means Divine 9. We're talking about the Qs, the Alphas, the Iotas. We're talking about the Kappas. That's them shimmying ass niggas. Like, they be dancing to Boosie shit, Wipe Me Down, all that shit, whatever. Then obviously, you know, with the Zetas, the AKAs, or Deltas or whatever on the female side. The frat people, just off of every party in college, especially a black party, you start seeing everybody doing their strolls and shit, and women love that shit. So if you're not an athlete, if you fall in the frat, I was about to join a frat just to try to get bitches. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'll tell you why I stopped. The moment they said we had to do some community service, they're like, yo, y'all gotta go in the city of New Brunswick and pick up mad garbage. I'm like, what the fuck? What the hell? I gotta do all this to get pussy? I'm like, I'm good. I'm out of here, man. Peace. Feel me? I became a DJ. Well, I was a DJ already. Anyway, yeah, so the frat dudes, they banging out chicks. You feel what I'm saying? After that, they call everybody else like GDI, which is like a goddamn individual. Like, remember, no matter how much money you really have, money doesn't really matter when you're on a college campus. Nobody's gonna see it. Like, it's a different world. By the way, I didn't have money like that anyway, but it's all about status. So, like, right below the frat niggas, that's where I fell up. I'm like the DJ who's lit, and everybody comes to college to party. So they want to be friends with the DJ. So it would be like women who constantly would hit me like, yo, what's up with the party at? They just follow me wherever I'm going for the night. So I'm competing with my mans. Who's my mans? And I remember I told you this is all about status. Yeah, this story's turned to a long thing, huh? I'm trying to drop some jewels in there for people who've been to college or never been to college, or at least been to a college like I've been to. This is a big college that, you know, is definitely a heavy a lot of white people there, but we have our own black population that was popping, right? So my man's, he's the president. So this organization that brought Kendrick there is called Black Student Union. He's the president of it. You know what I mean? That's like being, I don't know, NAACP or some shit, or like being the president of Black Lives Matter. I don't know what the fuck, nigga. Like, it's just like being the president of the biggest black org. You know what I mean? That's my man's. We live together, but he a nigga. We competing for whatever. So I'm using my DJ status. Obviously some Riz. He's using his status as running this organization, and obviously some Riz. So now, and I'm sorry I had to like explain that to y'all, we get to the joint. So either Kendrick perform or Schoolboy Q, one of those years, and we do the after party. And I noticed, I'm like, damn, that was kind of crazy. Anyway, looked like he had liked her. I didn't know he liked her. And I didn't know he was fucking her. He forces her, I guess he was telling her like, yo, if you don't tell my nigga that we're fucking, I'm gonna tell him, and like, I don't even know what his plan was, but I had no idea. So supposedly every time I would leave the crib to go DJ at another college, I would go to Montclair State, I would go to TCNJ, Rowan, I would go to Ramapo. These are all Jersey colleges. I would go DJ. Shorty lives at Rutgers, so she would just slide through to the crib. I never knew she was coming to the crib to fuck my homie. I never knew. You know what I mean? Like, call me whatever you want. I just never knew, bro. It's okay. But also, I had other girls, and I wasn't pressed. But I did get a little bit pressed because now I can't let a nigga take my bitch. You know what I mean? One in the chat, if you know about just ego, it's not even that you care about a chick that much. You just like, yo, this nigga not gonna take my girl. Like, because I usually be like, yo, y'all niggas can't take my bitches, bro. Anyway, cool. So I find out that he's in whatever. I was really disgusted, low key, but out of ego and competition, because we've been competing, I'm like, yo, I told Shorty, I said, I'll fuck with you, but you can't ever talk to my nigga ever again. Now, here how this work. We both live in the same house, nigga. He lived upstairs. I live on the second floor. We lived like on a house right outside of Rutgers. So Shorty would come to my house. This is the goofiest shit ever. Y'all gonna be like, this is dumb. She would come to my house and she would like, because she's trying to like, you know, she's trying to like be an important girl in my life. But really, I don't really care about it that much. I just care that this nigga is when we now talking, he's like, yo, I took her from you. I'm like, you took who? All right, hold up now, nigga. So now I got to act like I really like this girl. So this is story time, right? So Shorty started saying to me, no. So she would come to the house. The nigga would be in the kitchen sometimes. Like, my rule for her is like, I'll keep fucking with you, but you can't talk to my roommate ever again. Nigga, she would be ignoring the nigga like crazy, like just walk past him like he don't exist. I'm like, yo, women are interesting, because I'm like, yo, this nigga was definitely fucking you. Anyway, and keep in mind, he took her virginity. She was legit a virgin. Like, I fucked her after I found out she was fucking him. Real talk. So anyway, and I'm going to get to the part that this whole story is predicated on. He was trying to talk to her. But remember, a part of me finding out and talking to her, I said, yo, you can't deal with my roommate. My roommate, or my guy, which is right here, he reached out to her one time and he said, yo, I just want to let you know some shit. And basically, this resulted in her stop talking to me. So randomly one time, she just cut me off. Now, keep in mind, I have other women I'm dealing with, but she kind of becomes important because now it's like a flex to my homie who he was like, yo, the girl you thought was a virgin, I fucked her first and I took her from you. Now I'm like, no, you didn't take her, nigga. She's still my bitch and she don't talk to you. Stupid shit. We're in college, bro. We're in college. Bro, this is, I want to let people know, like, because I don't think people think this is my mentality now, right? Okay. She cuts me off, and now, like, this is kind of this is not even like for a girl who was that less of important to me in terms of the overall scheme of things. I was blowing up her phone like, damn, what's up? She agreed to meet with me one time, and I said, yo, we were good. I forgave you for what you did with my roommate. What happened? She was like, yo, I ain't gonna lie. I think I'm gonna start fucking back with your roommate. And I'm like, I get it. That nigga took you. She said, that's not it. She's like, yo, bro, you got like 6 girls on campus. Like, you're fucking mad other girls. I'm not even an important girl you're fucking with. Like, why are you stringing me along? So the whole time she's saying it, I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, yo, I know you got a girl that live over there in Katzenbach. That was like the female campus. Who be on Douglas? I'm like, what do you... Now, she's saying shit that I ain't gonna lie to you. It's true. But you know when you gaslighting, you looking at her straight in the face. Yo, what are you talking about? But I'm like, this shit kind of accurate. Yo, I'm gaslighting her so much. Yo, she's like, yo, come on. Just cut the bullshit. I'm like, come on. Yo, what are you talking about? Like, I'll rock with you. She opens her phone and she hits play. Nigga, it's a voice recording of me talking about all the bitches I got on campus. I'm like, yo, my bitch from here? Oh my God, she's fine. Like, nigga, I talked about every chick. Nigga, this shit was like a wiretap. This is some Gunna King Slime, 6ix9ine, like whatever your favorite cooperant shit is. Nigga, she had the wiretap on me. She played it where it's sitting in the car. I'm flabbergasted. How did you get this? Because the whole time I'm gaslighting her, acting like I'm not fucking nobody else. Everybody knows I'm fucking, but I'm telling her I'm not fucking nobody else. She plays the audio of me bragging about all the bitches I'm fucking. I'm like, oh my God. No. She then tells me my roommate, my guy recorded me, and I instantly remembered what happened. We lived together. Remember I told you we lived together. So we used to compete over girls. So one day, I guess after the girl had cut him off, and I thought I won. I thought it's over. I go into the living room, and we just popping shit. We niggas, we popping shit at each other. I'm like, man, y'all niggas don't even know, man. I met this other chick, bro. Like, yo, I'm about to have mad bitches on campus. Like, so I remember the day because he was asking questions like a fed. Like, he was like, man, how many bitches you got? I said, how many bitches I got? Yo, nigga, for real? Bro, you know I got 6 bitches on campus, gang. Bro, you know I got a bitch that live in this dorm. You know I got 2 that live in here. The other girl, she don't look good, but she could cook and she got a fat ass. She live here. Bro, I broke the whole shit down. The nigga, he set me up by asking me the question and recorded me and sent it to the bitch to say, this the nigga you fucking with? She cut me off after that, bro. After that, that's when I realized, number one, we were on some childish shit, number one. But number two, I don't do the competition with your mans. And I used to do it. I ain't gonna lie. I can't compete with my own mans over a girl because here's the thing. Like, you know, I know the story been a little bit long. And I know somebody, I'm like, bro, we heard it already. So after that, remember she cut me off and then she played me the audio. And then I'm like, damn. Now, I told my brother the story. He never knew the story. But I told him the story like a couple months ago. He was like, yo, bro, how didn't you fade that nigga? We never fought. Like, we were both on some, this is how, like, we were in a fucked up mindset. We were like, damn. I was like, I wouldn't stoop that low, but I guess it's part of the game because, nigga, I ain't gonna lie, like, I remember he brought some white chick around, nigga. I took her. I'm like, nigga, I was like, stole that shit. You feel me? So we were on some shit like, yo, this is like some caveman shit. Anything kind of goes, even though the recording was wild. Like, I was like, yo, bro, like, why you recording me? Whatever, cool. So when she plays me the audio, I raise her back up. She cuts him off. He finds a way to talk to her, then she cuts me off. But we're just competing with her. Anyway, there's a point, and remember, she's like now about like a sophomore. She comes to me and she says, yo, I'm gonna keep it a bean with you because we're both telling her the same thing. I'll fuck with you, but you can't talk to the other nigga, right? She comes to me and him and she says, yo, check this out. Yo, I'm tired of this back and forth. I'm tired of, I talk to you, I don't talk to you, I talk to him, Yo, I want to be able to talk to both of y'all. So I want to be able to be with both of y'all niggas. And I ain't gonna lie to you, chat, that shit sobered me up out of all, I don't know if I was doing with simp shit, I don't know what it was, but that shit sobered me up. Because I'm a big-ass freshman that's a lit DJ on campus. This is a little freshman. No, I'm a big-ass senior. I'm a senior. My bad if I spoke wrong. Senior that's lit on campus. This is a freshman telling me, I'm going to talk to you and your roommate. Yo, hold on now. It's like, yo, you must think we some bum-ass nigga. So I stopped talking to her. Low-key, he dated her for 5 years. That told me all I need to know, chat. That's the end of the story, really. The end of the story is, so I cut her off finally when she said, I'm not going to keep going back and forth. I want to be able to talk to you and you. And I'm like, bitch, you like, yo, you a freshman? No, you a nobody. Yo, stop playing. I'm like, you know what? You could just have that nigga. He dated her for 5 years afterwards. 5 years. And that told me I was just trying to compete with my mans just off of like, yo, we young, we just trying to brag about who could get pussy because we feel like we're being validated. The nigga liked her. The nigga recorded me because he loved her. You get what I'm saying? Like, nigga, I had other women I was dealing with. I would have never made her my girlfriend. He loved her and he would have. The nigga recorded me. Me and his relationship got a little bit weird after, but it just told me like, don't ever compete with a girl. Don't ever compete for the same girl with your mans because whoever who likes her more is going to do something that probably you're going to look at your friend a little bit different. And I know some of y'all going to be like, nah, nigga, that's just you and whatever. Bro, let me tell you this. Y'all should understand what I'm saying. If y'all meet a girl at the club and you're just thinking, oh, this is just a chick I fuck or whatever, versus a nigga who's in love with her, very different. So, yeah, I kind of understand this J shit. Well, I always understand stuff in my context, but I'm like, yeah, if y'all was doing that back and forth, I guarantee there was some slimy shit involved. Guaranteed. Bro, y'all both friends. Y'all both meeting them at the same time. Y'all kind of got to convince shorty not to fuck with your friend, especially if she may have met your friend first. So now some slimy shit was involved, bro. 100%. 100%. Yo, niggas in the chat's like, yo, bro, we heard the story 10 times. I was just trying to, some people I guess didn't hear it, but yeah. Yo, when it comes to women, we niggas and shit like that, but don't compete over the same women. And I personally believe that Dame Dash and Jay-Z's competitive nature among women probably led to some strained relationships. You get me? Because I guarantee probably Jay got to a point where it's like, yo, when I meet a girl I like, I'm not introducing a Dame. Yeah, Dame my man, but me and him, we could be around the hoes, not my girl. Because that's the dynamic.
You understand what I'm saying? I don't really look at her. I don't listen to her music. To me, her music portrays her, and the way that she dances and stuff puts her in a sexual light. So I feel funny looking at it. I can't even really, I don't play no Beyonce records. It's not because of Jay and the problems we have. It's because of the respect I got for her. You understand what I'm saying? So last time I saw Jay and Beyonce, that was Shaka's party. I ran into her. We talked, and I said, "There's Rachel right over there, and go right over there." I don't want that. I don't even want her to have the chance to like me because it's hard not to. I'm not gonna say she do or don't, but I don't even want that. I don't want I've had connections.
You see how he's downplaying it, right? He's capping a little bit. He's like, nah, I didn't give I purposely put myself in a position where Beyonce couldn't like me. You could tell this is a competitive thing between him and Jay. But instead of saying, oh, Beyonce never wanted me, Beyonce always wanted Jay, he's trying to downplay it like, nah, man, I ain't want to put myself in a position that Beyonce couldn't want me.
With other people's girls, and I'd be like, you know better than that, and walk off. Like we'll get the eye. Let's stop talking because homeboy's gonna go crazy. Let's go. And I'm not gonna say who that is, but it's happened that I've said no to other niggas' wives a lot that I respect.
See,
that everybody knows. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't do that. And to niggas' daughters, like if your daughter, I get really offended when I hear that certain niggas, and you know who you are, have ran up in my daughter's DM. And I'm like, damn, that nigga is so crazy. I'm like, that nigga knew you was a baby. And I'm going to step to that nigga when I see him. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you know that's my daughter. Like, either way, out of respect, bro. I know it's my daughter. But you already know what you're going to do. I know, I tell me and my daughter got the best. I tell her everything. All these niggas do want to fucking tell everybody. Do not do it. Only with somebody that really loves you, make him earn. And once he does that, he's responsible for your bills.
Again, it's my theory. I could take it or leave it. I guarantee if we fully analyze the situation with Jay and Dame, yeah, there's some business shit. I think Dame has this attitude that, bro, it's kind of like you really got to be blessed to fucking deal with this nigga for a long time. I believe that the women's stuff contributed. Trust me, it always gets weird. You and your man should never be competing for the same girl. That's a fact. All right. Let me see. Oh, did y'all see? So Vlad TV has interviewed Gina Conway, who is the not baby mother, but she's the woman who's involved in this Max B setup thing where she was Max B's girlfriend. Max B tells her, yo, go fuck on some guy. And then eventually she comes with the plan of setting this guy up. Here is what she is saying. By the way, of course, Vlad got the first interview.
Okay, so now you're living in New York and Max B's your boyfriend. How's the relationship?
It was pretty tumultuous, I would say. It was a lot of it was just crazy, like a lot of fighting. Sometimes it was fun. It was, just crazy, like a lot of partying, just new things that I was not.
The irony of watching this interview, yo, Gina actually looks like her voice still sounds like she's young. And I'm wondering if that's trauma or there's just like some voice shit. Her voice sounds weird.
I was introduced to a lot of things, that I wasn't used to being around. A lot of it was fun, and a lot of it, it was hard. Some parts of it was hard, but it was very different from the life that I was used to living.
Well, when you get to New York, you start to dance at Sin City in the Bronx.
Right.
Okay, so you're dancing, but you're involved with Max. Now, when you say he introduced you to a bunch of new things, what do you mean? Like drugs or something else?
Well, yes, he introduced me to ecstasy. Like I never took ecstasy before, and then he introduced me to like a whole lifestyle of like just crazy sex, like a sexual lifestyle. That was just, I don't know, it was just unconventional, I may say. One might say.
Okay, what was the most unconventional thing that...
I mean, it was, it was like sex with, people that we didn't know. Like...
By the way, and this is why I think this is a real story. Again, I don't know how important these stories are, but these days, I guess, and in all transparency, Gina Conway, I got offered this interview 3 times before Whack. So Whack also offered to bring her to my platform, but I got offered it 3 times, and I ain't gonna lie, I lost interest the moment I heard that she was looking for a paycheck. I'm gonna be honest with you. With all due respect to you, I could interview Max B for free. Why the fuck do I need to interview you, the person who is an ancillary person to the story of Max B, and have to pay you? So I lost interest. So someone had pitched it to me. They were like, hey, whatever. And I said, hey, I'll get on the phone. I'll listen to it. And they were like, oh, yeah, she wants to get paid. And I'm like, okay, I'm good.
Orgies, like more than one sex. I want to say like menage a trois, where females we didn't know. I didn't know. Maybe he knew them. I didn't know who they were. I guess like random types of sex that sex with different people.
Yeah, she's trying to explain in a way that Max B was supposedly pimping her.
And I want to say probably prostitution. He introduced me to that.
Meaning that you were prostituting?
I wouldn't say I wasn't prostituting, but he had like, I wasn't doing it on the regular, but he did like, he sold me to people before. It wasn't like something that I did on my own or anything like that. So, I did it. He set it up and I did it. And it happened like 2 times, and it is prostitution technically. And it like, it bothers me a lot, thinking about it and reflecting on it. But yeah, he introduced me to that, which is something that I never normally done and I don't normally do.
Well, Max has a stepbrother.
Yes.
Named Pooh Sims.
Yes.
Now, leading up to the incident, how many times?
Spoke.
Okay, so here you are involved with Max B, and him and Jim Jones working on music together. And
okay, so here's my thing. And I've been kind of watching how people are like looking at these recounts of the situation. And a part of me says it is kind of important to, revisit why Max B went to jail. It's important to give a voice to everybody, but also I don't know if necessarily we care that much about, even though she's kind of saying she was a victim. No, she's a co-conspirator. She found a trick She brought up his name to Max. They came up with a plan to rob him. She brings Pooh Sims there. Shit goes left. The guy dies. And again, you know, she tells on everybody and she gets rewarded. And, you know what I mean? Again, that sounds like a good story. Like, you know, you could put it on Netflix or some shit or Tubi. But do we really care to hear all the intricate details? Because right now it's only relevant because Max is home. I don't know. You know, by the way, I don't judge Vlad for putting out this story. Anyway, yo, Trap Lord Ross has responded after he's made this elaborate documentary saying NBA YoungBoy has 19 bodies. Okay, now let me quickly jump into what he's been saying.
Block of seeing YoungBoy rapping about murder and references to a body count that seemed to grow year by year, from at least one alleged body in the mid-2010s when he first started rapping only age 16, to seemingly confessing to having 3 bodies and subtracting 2 attempts or losses around 2019, to shockingly claiming at least 3 times to have a total of 7 bodies by 2020. His kill count would appear to rise to 12 plus a child by 2022. By March 2024, he was claiming to be responsible for 15 murders, and apparently he would reach a grand total of 19 bodies by June 2024.
Baton Rouge police are looking into a deadly shooting that claimed the life of a local rapper.
When an unknown suspect in a red Chevy Trailblazer
G wasn't quick enough.
The shooting death of a local rapper.
Baton Rouge police say the local rapper was shot and killed at his home at Lakeside Villa Apartments on Wellwood Drive after midnight.
The deadly shooting of a student walking home from school.
New details surrounding a violent crime that happened here around 7:15 Saturday night.
The police are trying to get to the bottom of a drive-by shooting in Baton Rouge.
Police say someone shot Jason Nixon several times.
Hey look, hanging out the one trying to flood them on the interstate.
Today, Baton Rouge police named the 2 people killed on River Road last night.
2 people were killed and 2 others were sent to a hospital. We now know the name of the person killed in a shooting in Baton Rouge.
Police say 24-year-old Deontay Veal was shot and killed.
Investigators say 23-year-old Tremaine Phillips died.
Breaking tonight, 1 person dead after a shooting on Sherwood Common Boulevard.
Person shot and killed along North Acadian. 30-year-old Jawan Alisi was shot to death.
Just know that ain't my work, man.
They are looking for information on the shooting death of this man here.
Okay.
And this isn't some huge secret. In fact, I discussed in my previous video, YoungBoy, Real Killer or Fake Gangster, which I made a couple years ago when his body count was still at 12. But the truth is, YoungBoy isn't the person pulling the triggers and committing these murders personally. He openly raps about contracting killers over 7 times, never even seeing the face of the people doing the hits. Although his 2016 double attempted murder charges would prove that he's clearly capable of pulling the trigger if it came to it. In efforts to prevent him bailing out on his prior charges, the FBI have openly labeled YoungBoy as the known leader of a violent Louisiana gang. And the truth is, he is literally surrounded by shooters at all times, with a number of the most notorious shooters in the South being affiliated with his NBA or Never Broke Again record label and his alleged 4K Trey street gang and their allies state to state, meaning that wherever YoungBoy goes, he's accompanied by countless crash outs who are ready and willing to shoot and catch bodies to protect YoungBoy and his multi-million-dollar interests. So in this video, I'll answer once and for all of these murders and murderers the secret ingredient to YoungBoy's gangster rap empire? Does YoungBoy really need shooters around him at all times to make sure he stays alive and that his rivals die early, or is he destined to meet the same fate as his biggest rival?
Anyway. So this documentary is about an hour and 57 minutes long. By the way, Trap Lord Ross does a great job of compiling information. And I still believe that for the most part, unless he's changed his style, he's going off public information. He's not saying, hey, I have confirmed this with the police or I have a source that no one could verify. He is basically regurgitating, but putting it in a nice package, what is out there openly. By the way, same thing I did in the war in Chirac, and when people thought I had like privy to information. No, I knew how to Google. So I guess the difference here is, you know, maybe I didn't do documentary style stuff. So I did like news-based type stuff. So if someone got shot at or someone died, I would just do the video based on that. Trap Lore, he's getting in like a lot of flack because here's the thing. It's one thing to say, oh, let's cover this one incident. It's another thing to drive a narrative that, hey, there's 19 murders connected to a guy, right? So anyway, he's been getting a lot of backlash. And through his backlash, he's actually responded. And this is what he said. See if I can get the video. Yeah, he has said, let me see. He explained it. I'll tell you what he... Okay.
This one, to be honest. I'm actually hot under the collar over this one, to be honest with you guys, okay? Because I do feel like I'm getting all sorts of comments, people talking about you're the feds, you're the cops, take this shit down, take it down, don't do this. But it's like, you want to have it both ways. I told you in the last video that I did about this on this channel, everybody was up in arms. When King Von said to Youngboy, you got cap in your raps, a lot of people said, nah, Youngboy the realist, bro, he ain't capping in those raps. Them raps about having all those bodies. 12 bodies and 1 child dead. Stop the violence, what I fucking said. Go and tell him that I'm lying. I got 19 bodies. He said it. He been saying for years, for 3 years now. Scratch that. For 3 years, he's been saying he's got 12 bodies. For 1 year, he's been saying he's got 19 bodies. He'd been saying he got 7 bodies for 5 years straight. He was going neck and neck for bodies with King Von. I don't need to show you all the lyrics once again, but look. Youngboy has said a bunch of times that he's got bodies. How am I so in the wrong? This is one of the most famous and relevant rappers in the entire game, in the entire world right now, jumping on songs talking about he's got 19 bodies. I feel like I'm well within my rights as a fan, as a hip-hopologist, as a historian of the game, of drill music, because that's what I do. Journalist in drill music, to discover and decipher what these lyrics are all about, all right? I'm a one-man-genius.com. He told me he had 19 bodies. I said, let me look into it. And I found 19 bodies, okay? It is what it is, but I'm going to confront some of this criticism head on. Comment on this video, all right, that warmed my heart. And I pinned it. I pinned this comment before I even dropped the documentary because I knew I was going to spin on you fools. Youngboy, I have 19 bodies. Ross, I believe him. The comments... Damn, Ross is the feds. This comment sums it up perfectly.
Okay. Now, this is an interesting thing to break down. I like Trapper Ross. I believe, by his own admission, I think a lot of things I've done in hip-hop and media and commentary has probably inspired some of what he's done. Here's where I see it. I agree with him on rappers being hypocritical, right? A rapper will say, yo, 7 murders in my hometowns, tell the feds I did that, right? Now, when you go make a video about it and actually spell it out, you're the feds, not the rapper who said it. I completely understand where he's saying rappers will say something, and even if you think they're just saying it on face value or they're being facetious, they will say it in a way where they're standing on whatever, but as soon as you mention it, it's Fed work. Now, there's a few things. Hip-hop is a culture, and most of black culture is based on criminality. For example, the reality is that snitching is a street thing, not a black thing, a street thing. Now, granted, tattletale, and no one likes someone who likes to tell, oh, hey, mommy, Johnny just blah, blah, blah. I get that. But law and order is universal. The idea of snitching is a concept that's usually based on you telling on somebody you did the crime with. It's rooted in the streets. It's not something that's completely applicable to civilians or people not in the streets. Yet black culture, and I've always said this, and with all due respect to Meek Mill and everybody, I remember when Meek Mill told me, yo, don't post that 6ix9ine shit because he's a rat. And I said, if he's a rat, I don't do crime. What the fuck that got to do with me? And if y'all are the street dudes and y'all feel like he is ratted on the streets, why does the civilians have to take up for it? What am I saying? Black culture has kind of made it where some of these street codes and rules, everybody has to adhere to, right? You're supposed to protect the criminal. Sounds crazy, right? Yeah, you shouldn't do Fed shit. Like, for example, I don't do crime. But I shouldn't do Fed shit because I'm making the criminals go to jail. Well, I don't do crime, so why am I keeping them out of jail? But that's the problem with how people, have this. It's really hypocritical. So when he says the artists say they have whatever, and he then does the investigation or he loosely finds some shit to connect to it, they call him the feds. Yeah, they're going to call you the feds because they feel like you are outlining an investigation. Even though the rapper already outlined the confession. They feel you're doing the legwork. Again, it's stupid hip hop and slightly black culture, because not all black culture is this dumb. But I agree with Trap Lord Ross with what he's saying with that. Now, this is the only silver lining I would say. I think Trap Lord Ross, despite rappers saying whatever they say and the hypocrisy of the fans, and this is where, even if I call out Trap Lord for this, I got to call out fans for this. The simple reality of this, most times, these rappers aren't speaking reality. They don't have 19 bodies. They didn't kill 19 people. But they say that to create an image of this ultimate gangster and warrior and villain and goon that allows the impressionable mind to listen to their music more, to buy into the image, to buy merch, tickets, CDs, stream their songs. They utilize the image of being a killer to help convince. That's what I was telling y'all. The problem with Atlanta is that Atlanta got exposed. We don't believe them no more. When fans believe this shit, it's not about if it's all the way true. Just believing street rap is the quintessential part of the street rap working. So, with all that being said, it goes back to what I'm saying. Fans want it both ways. They want, if you talk about what the rapper said, you're snitching. And they want to believe in this stuff, and if you debunk it, you hate it. So you're caught between a rock and a hard place. And this is where I don't have a problem with what Trap Lord Ross does, because I love to say when niggas is stupid, they deserve to be fooled. If y'all are the people who are saying, man, nah, I know YoungBoy got 19 bodies, but bro, like, don't air it out. You're fucking stupid. Now, if you're the person that says, yo, I love YoungBoy, I know he ain't killed 19 people, but that's the image, and I fuck with the image, fuck it, we 4K Trey. And your belief off of that, you say, yo, why are you making a documentary? You're making it hot for him. This, like, he didn't kill 19 people. He didn't do it. You're bringing unnecessary, because I ain't gonna lie, a documentary like this is a gift and a curse. Some fans gonna be like, yeah, ain't nobody got no 19 bodies. Why be the biggest crash out? Yo, there's gonna be some investigating body, FBI, ATF, DEA, local authorities that said, what? There's a famous guy running around with 19 bodies that we haven't at least gotten a murder charge on, or a murder for hire charge on? Yeah. It's damned if you do, damned if you don't. So when I look at this, respectfully, I could understand what Trap Lord Ross does, but I think fans are also confused. Y'all have made hip-hop culture co-signing criminality. This is what I would ask the YoungBoy fans. And everybody know, I love YoungBoy. But like, I would ask of any rapper's fans, do you believe that he has those bodies, or you think he's lying? If you think he's telling the truth, then we go down a different realm. If you think he's lying, then I agree with you. Traplo Ross is now bringing federal police investigation attention on a man that hasn't does what he's even making the narrative that he's done. Now, if he does have 19, the next question got to be, before we get to Traplo Ross, why is he admitting it? Why? Before we question Traplo Ross, why are you admitting it? Why are you admitting it? That's a fact. So we got to pick, and this is where fans always fail the logic test, because a fan is exactly what the word says. A fan is a person that's a fanatic of an individual, an idea, or some type of entity. So oftentimes they lack the ability to discern and to think logically. With all due respect, when it comes to Lil Durk literally manifested the feds. He manifested the feds. He literally tell you the feds was coming. He literally said the feds gonna have to pick him up, that only the feds could stop him. He literally said the day after my brother died, next day there was down 2. He literally told us this. So if someone made a documentary basically detailing and putting some context to what Schmirk was saying, are they the feds? Are they wrong? Or was Schmirk lying? Here's the thing, I've never heard a fan base say, nah, yo, he just actually lying. Like, he not like that. He don't do them. He ain't kill nobody. They believe it because the mere fact that they're fans, they're going to believe the things that make their favorite guy look like bigger than life. So they won't blame Schmirk to say, Schmirk, why the hell, if you really are getting people killed, you're rapping about it? Why would you rap about it? They don't do that. They don't think he's a liar neither. You know what they say? Yo, Traplo Ross, man, why are you bringing the feds over here? Wait. So the confession on the records wasn't enough to bring the feds. All the other, trail of peanuts that you're leaving behind in your wake of destruction, that wasn't enough, but it's because of a documentary. So yeah, I seem to agree with Traplo Ross.
It down.
Now, the only way I don't agree with Traplo Ross is if we're in the mindset of, bro, young boys is chatting. Young boy don't got no 19 bodies. What the fuck is you talking about? You're now lying on him and you're bringing unnecessary attention. But if young boy is admitting to 19 bodies and he does he does his thing and he's showing 19 bodies, the fuck? He doesn't have more resources than the cops. I would take anything that Traplo is doing equally to young boy saying it in terms of how much you need to believe it or not. And that's if you believe young boy.
Down, don't do this. But it's like, you want to have it both ways. I told you in the last video that I did about this on this channel, everybody was up in arms. When King Von said to young boy, you got cap in your raps, a lot of people said, nah, young boy the realist, bro. He ain't capping in those raps. Them raps about having all those bodies. 12 bodies and 1 child dead. Stop the violence, what I fucking said. Go and tell them that I'm lying. I got 19.
Like, chat, I'm going to be honest with you. And y'all going to lie to yourself, like, this idea, like, these days with drill music, these rappers boast serial killer amount of murders that they're claiming. And that gets people more attracted. When you look at Lil Jeff, he's saying he had, 7 or 11 bodies, and people are like, oh my God, we like him more because he was actually a killer of killers. When we talk about King Von, people brag about, yo, he got 7 bodies. Like, y'all like hearing these guys actually have like this unusual high body count. And then when someone debunks it, they're hating. And if someone plays into it and says, well, these could be the people he's talking about, they're being the feds. No. Not going for it, y'all. I'm not going for it. Okay. What else, y'all? What else? Chat, we got to do a daytime stream, man. I feel like I'm streaming too late. It's almost 6 o'clock here. All right. Let's see. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I apologize. I know. Yeah, you guys sleep is cruised. Hey, by the way, since we're going to Sunday, I'm gonna do an early stream today. You know, for the Sunday stream, I just gotta schedule it around football. So y'all gotta let me know. Should I stream at 7 p.m., which is right after the 1 o'clock? We're talking East Coast time. 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock games are done. I don't want to stream. I could stream at 4, but I'm competing with all the 4 o'clock games. Okay. Here we go. Oh, all right. Let me try to do this topic real quick, and I might call it after this. This is going to get us to 6 o'clock. All right. So, chat, you know what I've been interested in, and I want to keep up with this. So, Candace Owens, I know this is outside of hip-hop chat, and I want to apologize, right? But Candace Owens, like, I've interviewed her. I don't know if you guys ever watched Off the Record. I interviewed her. I really think she's intellectual. I think she's smart. I think she's fearless. I think she's bold. But a lot of people are accusing her of going off the deep end these days, chat. Essentially what's happening is that, remember the guy Charlie Kirk? So Charlie Kirk, who got shot and killed while he was doing a speech at a university, what ended up happening is that, you know, people are like really skeptical that his death was due to some random hater. They're like, nah, man, it ain't just some random hater. Like, there's much more going on here. People have talked about his liker, you know, his, you know, maybe defecting from Israel. Some people feel like he was getting too powerful. And I've gotten to find out that supposedly this guy was a huge deal. He had this organization called Turning Point USA. He was a huge deal just off the fact that he was getting out there to get a lot of these young conservative people to register to vote. People think that he helped Trump get elected. And I think when Trump even shouted people out, right? Like, you know, Donald Trump wins election. Let me see if I can find that speech. He even shouted out Aiden Ross, but I think he even shouted out, this guy. Right? Let me see. He's projected the winner. Let's see if we can find it. He shot Elon.
Frankly, this was, we have thousands help, but it's a political victory that is going to be just that. Fight for you, young, safe, and prosperous. Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin.
Let's see. Well, I'll just find the transcript.
We are now winning in Michigan, Arizona, Nevada, and Alaska, which would...
I'm trying to figure out. Donald Trump speech. Aiden Ross. He shot out Aiden. I definitely know he did. Oh, maybe it was...
Nobody deserves this more than him, and nobody deserves... He keeps going forward. They deserve it as a family. This is karma, lady. The mighty and powerful Joe Rogan. Thank you.
Yeah, they shot Joe Rogan. Let me see. But he definitely election speech, Charlie Kirk shout out. Anyway, I don't want to get like too much into it, but You know, he shouted out Charlie Kirk, and the whole Republican Party was really keen on saying that this one guy in this organization called Turning Point USA was really instrumental in getting Trump elected. Now, what happened is that he got killed. And after he got killed, Candace Owens, who was a good friend of his, Candace Owens is not taking this as, yo, he just got killed by a hater. She's like, yo, listen, man, some of this shit don't make sense. Why did this? Why did the blood look like this? Why didn't the bullet go through? Why did that? Why did that? Why did y'all clean the scenes too quick? And she's been kind of leading into conspiracy theories about why he got killed, including even to damn near almost blaming the organization that he owned for setting him up. She's going insanely viral. Chat, right now we're on a live stream. We have about like 4,000 people on each channel watching this. When she goes live these days, and she goes live, I think 5 days a week, she'll have hundreds of thousands of people. That's not her regular numbers. That is like some inflated number count. She'll have 200,000, 300,000 people watching her. And it's her diving into these conspiracy theories with TP USA, which is Turning Point USA. Now, let me see if I could. I wish there was a super cut of it. This was she streamed 2 months ago. She said something isn't right.
Well, it's going to be a heck of a Tuesday for us, guys. Where should we begin? I'll tell you this. Something is not right. Something is not right. And I am going to need you, whoever it is that's listening to this podcast right now.
Now, let me tell you, and if you're ever in media, there's very different stages of like, you know, clouting up, right? And I love Candace, but Candace, I was shocked that Alex Jones, when the financials and everything was determined, it showed that his company made $195 million for a year. And you get to realize, damn, how this motherfucker got this audience? Well, you know how, Alex Jones, and I don't want to belittle nothing he's done. He's a great entertainer and broadcaster or whatever. When you sell fear, when you sell conspiracy theories, when you say, oh, the world is about to end, like he used to sell on his site these kits of if the electricity get cut off or if we're off the grid, and he would sell these things, and because of the rhetoric he had, people would buy them. So essentially, what am I saying? Alex Jones realized when you sell fear, people spend money. When you ask questions and sell theories that the big bad government is lying to us, or yo, they killed one of their own, or whatever the case is, you get eyeballs, you get attention. So Candace Owens has been getting, and look at some of these views. She streamed this. 5.8 million views. She's been leaning into Charlie Kirk's death was not solely the byproduct of some guy that didn't like his rhetoric and killed him. This was possibly another government that killed him, or possibly his own organization that killed him after they were trying to have a coup and basically take over the organization. By the way, the organization is really popular. The organization has never said that. Charlie Kirk's wife, Erica Kirk, has never said that. She's kind of a lone wolf, but she has some type of, credence, because she was his friend, and she claims she has had conversations with him leading up to his death that made her skeptical about how his death went down. She's been talking about it ever since, with a lot of views.
To wake up, because I am telling you, this is not a battle between left and right. We all thought that at some point. We believed that. You're my enemy, you're my enemy. It is not a battle between Russia, Ukraine. I don't care what your political issue of the day is. What is happening right now in the world, and what just happened to my friend Charlie Kirk, is a battle of sheer evil versus goodness.
There we go.
What do I have for you guys today? Okay, well, first and foremost, the indictment against Tyler Robinson was just released.
Okay. So she's been leaning into this. Now, recently, it's came to a head where she's damn near almost accusing Charlie Kirk's wife of being a part of a plot to kill him and cover it up and take power from him and run this organization. That recently, the people who are now running Turning Point USA, they have responded to Charlie Kirk. They've responded to Candace Owens. Here they are.
We wanted to use this.
Here they are broadcasting from Charlie Kirk's own YouTube, which is where his show used to come from.
Segment at the top of this hour to say something important, something very important. For the past 2.5 months, there is a topic that has flooded our Freedom inbox. It has been nonstop on social media, but which we have almost totally avoided on this show. You probably already know what I'm talking about, which shows just how ubiquitous it has been. Ever since Charlie's murder, Candace Owens has leveled a flood of allegations against people at Turning Point USA, people at Turning Point Action, and people who work for this show. She has made them against some of Charlie's closest friends and against some of his most dedicated employees. She has suggested that Michael McCoy, Charlie's chief of staff, knew Charlie would be murdered, was happy that he died, and stayed silent because he was told he would be the next Charlie. She has suggested Michael is not his real name. It is. I have seen his birth certificate myself. She has called it suspicious that Mikey's wife, who works at Turning Point, helped plan the campus tour event where Charlie was murdered, which she didn't, by the way. She doesn't work on campus events. Candace has suggested the Utah Valley University event was unusual and its details suggested a, quote, inside job. She has claimed that foreign aircraft have followed Erica Kirk around the country and that Turning Point has lied about this happening. She has accused us of lying about Charlie wanting Erica to take over for him if he died. She has suggested Charlie's security team intentionally denied him first aid after the shooting to ensure that he died.
Wow.
She has raised suspicions about the head of our technical team because he took an SD card out of a camera. She has spread absurd claims that Tyler Boyer, who we just had on the show, sexually abuses male interns. She has suggested that TPUSA faith-affiliated pastors, like theologian Frank Turek, who we'll have on in a moment, and Pastor Rob McCoy, are part of a military, quote, infiltration of Turning Point, either because they are veterans or because they have family members who are. Even if not everyone has been named specifically, though, Candace has effectively tarred everyone here with complicity in Charlie's death by repeatedly saying he was, quote, betrayed by, quote, everyone. She has said Charlie's murder, quote, had to be approved by Charlie's friends, and then suggested those friends might have her murdered too for, quote, knowing the truth. She has made claims of financial impropriety and fraud at Turning Point, adding up into the millions of dollars, which, again, is not true. Charlie made sure the organization was audited by a third party every year. He personally reviewed and he signed off on every expense report and literally every single bill paid by the organization down to a single United States dollar. We have never missed a 990 deadline. Candace has made other stranger allegations involving French paratroopers in maroon shirts, Egyptian Air Force planes flying out of Provo, Utah, and potential underground assassins traveling through unseen tunnels. At one point in early November, she started wildly throwing suspicion on members of Utah Valley's soccer team for wearing hoodies. I could go on. There is always something new coming up, and none of it ever pans out because from the start, there has been nothing there. The attacks and allegations from Candace are either lies or they are innuendos thrown around with a total, reckless disregard for the truth so that Candace can manipulate and string along an audience of people who don't realize they are being played. Instead of being able to grieve properly after one of the most heinous murders in American history, a murder many of us had to witness, my friends have had to endure harassment from people who have gotten whipped up by what Candace is saying. In fact, I would say we have suffered more harassment from these people than we have from Antifa supporters who overtly celebrate Charlie's murder. And just like a lot of those Antifa members, many of these people take this delight in how gross and unpleasant they can be. What our friends have had to endure is not funny and it's not insignificant. It is evil. I have seen it. For months, we have received hundreds, thousands, I suspect, emails and calls asking us to respond. People have wanted us to invite Candace on the show. But for a long time, our approach was to say nothing. We did that for several reasons. First, we thought that her prevarications were so absurd that nobody would believe them. We shouldn't have to answer questions about secret tunnels or Egyptian Air Force planes. That sort of thing is just, it's beneath contempt to respond to. The second reason we've said so little, though, is because there's a good rule of thumb, which Charlie followed. Do not feed the trolls. Focus on the mission. Reviving America, uplifting young people, making heaven cry.
Okay, so they have the whole response to Candace Owens. Then they randomly put out a tweet saying that they're going to address all this stuff. And I guess the bigger story, if you're saying you don't know what's going on here, is that Candace Owens is now like the #1 media person in, I want to say, politics. Like she's getting the most amount of views because she's leaning into someone from either the government or someone in the organization or working with a foreign government killed Charlie Kirk. And what's happening here is people are looking at it like the party of the Republican Party is not fractured. Here we go, by the way.
I work in construction and experience the same thing. My coworkers are all in on the Charlie Kirk conspiracies. If the Republicans lose in the midterms, I believe that Candace Owens is wholly responsible. She is one of the biggest podcasts on the right doing everything to go to war with the organization that helped get Trump elected. Turning Point specifically was going out and registering people to vote. Without Charlie, it's in trouble. Turning Point needs to be able to go out and rally young people and register them to vote. And she's doing everything she can to destroy that. And that is going to, I suppose, it's going to rip out the coffers on the right. There is no organization like Turning Point that exists anywhere else that has the resources and the reach. And without Charlie, I'm not sure that they can make it. But I can tell you this, Candace lighting a Molotov and throwing it through the window is not helping. And it's the most demoralizing thing ever. Additionally, all of the fucking cowards on the right who are too scared to say anything about her, because she tweets at me talking shit or whatever, and then a bunch of people come and flood our chat. I could give a single flying fuck. You can come and you can burn everything I have to the ground, and I will happily live in a van down by the river. I don't care to be number one. I don't need to be number one. What I care about is what is true and what will help this country and what works. And she is a fucking scumbag, okay? And she's getting worse every day. And she crossed the line. She continually crosses the line every day, insinuating that Turning Point literally killed the guy who made them all rich. And I hear this in the streets, and at a certain point, I'm like, holy shit, we're gonna lose the midterms. We're gonna lose the midterms, then we're gonna lose in 2028, and it's because she's a piece of shit. Because instead of saying, guys, let's come together and figure out how to work together, she says the stupidest, retarded crap. And now everybody's running around divided and broken. For what reason? For literally what reason? Now, guess what? I'm not on the best of terms with Turning Point either. In case you didn't.
Okay, this is like a big thing. And the last thing I'll play is her. Supposedly they've invited her to like this one time only thing to address all the rumors, but she came out and she said, yo, y'all set it to the date of my husband's birthday. So this is her husband, I believe. Right?
Guys, happy Monday. I hope you enjoyed the holiday weekend. I
know for some people that you might not be into politics and everything like that, but
guys, happy Monday. Guys, happy Monday. Husband's birthday. And
okay. And then Nick Fuentes is involved in this too.
If she's so afraid for her life, why was she at Tucker?
Because she's saying that it's a conspiracy to kill people. She also feels like there's a bounty on her head. So she said she don't want to travel or do too much. Nick Fuentes jumped in and said, yo, well, no, you're capping. You're just trying to keep the money train going on. You don't want to get confronted about these conspiracy theories that you're spewing about this dude. And you're trying to make it like you can't link up in person to have this debate.
Tucker Carlson's Christmas party in Nashville last night. Why was she at Dollywood on Thanksgiving, the theme park? So allegedly the French government and the Israeli intelligence have put a hit out on you. They've paid millions of dollars to kill you, but you're walking around a theme park in your town. You're walking around, for those that don't know, Dollywood, Dollyland. It's like Dolly Parton's Disney World. You're walking around Disney World? You're walking around an amusement park in your hometown on the holiday weekend when allegedly everyone's trying to kill you? Then you go to a Christmas party with Tucker Carlson in the same city, attended by hundreds of people, and people know you're going to be there with Tucker and all the based people in one room. But you can't go to Turning Point, where everybody knows you're going to be, And if anything happened to you, God forbid, they would immediately blame Turning Point. It doesn't even make any sense.
What he's saying makes sense. Personally, I don't think she can imply.
Okay. So anyway, it's an interesting thing.
Being contacted by a lot of people that are telling me that just within 48 hours before Charlie passed away, his top Jewish donors were pulling funding from him, demanding that Charlie take their name off of the building that they had donated to Turning Point. I guess I can figure out who that is, how many people could have donated a building. And then once Charlie was killed, they said, never mind, put it back on the building. Okay. Charlie himself had alluded to a tremendous loss of money coming in, and we'll speak about that more. More people are going to come out with information. This is all inevitable. Okay. And I'll also point you in this direction. You guys remember Bibi recently was on a PR blitz, despite the fact that he was, fighting this 96,000 front war because Israel didn't do nothing. Okay. So why didn't he do Carly Kirk's show? And is that you are live streaming because you want the internet.
So now she's saying why she can't do a live stream.
To be able
to. If you're in this world, you understand it. Like, oftentimes when I'm explaining stuff, I'm thinking, does the regular person understand this? And you won't understand unless you've been tuning into this. But I ain't gonna lie, this is wildly popular. This is like very big. This is like the biggest thing, in any type of commentary space.
To attend, right? That's the whole purpose and function of live streaming an event, is that it invites everybody to be able to attend.
So she says she can't travel to Phoenix because her husband's birthday is that day. But people are saying, yo, you probably made millions talking about Charlie Kirk and all the conspiracy theories for the last 2 months since he died. Why can't you travel here if we're going to have an open discussion? You could ask whatever question you want, because her thing has been, why is nobody answering these questions I have and other people have? They're like, we'll answer it. Show up this day. She's like, it's my husband's birthday. I can't show up. But people are like, well, you've made millions of dollars streaming and shit like that. Like, what? Like, you said this is important. Why can't you figure out a way?
When you extend an invitation of live streaming and you don't explicitly say it must be in person, why would I assume that you're going to rescind the offer if I say that I can appear via live stream? Okay. They never said that. When they made the offer and they were pretending that they were being sincere, they never made in person a point of their demands. They never also said that I had to respond within 24 hours. That's a hostage situation, okay? There's no way that I could have accommodated all of that. In a million years, 24 hours to respond. How about, let me see if I can make that work. Even if I could have made it work, which I couldn't have, because my husband instantly said, no, you cannot do this Monday. And he runs the household, and he had...
One thing I like about Candace, and maybe she's just like the opposite of like Akasha's wife. Like, she's a woman, and yes, she does her podcast, and she has a voice, and she is strong. But she still she realized she on her husband's program. I don't even know who her husband is. It's his program. If her husband tell her, that ain't happening, she will tell the world, listen, my husband said it ain't happening. It's his program. And I ain't gonna lie, I like women who still listen to niggas. Like, these days, women, they don't listen to niggas. So when she says, my husband, he the boss, he called the shots, he said it's over, I can't travel on that day, even though it should be a no-brainer because it's his birthday, And especially if he says if he wants to be with his wife on his birthday, fuck all this other shit. I like that she listens to her husband.
As an important thing going on that day, which involves people that are coming in from overseas. But even if I could have made that work, I would not have within 24 hours have confirmed to them if they had even sent me an email. Because I have kids, I would have had organized things, and it would have just taken longer than...
All right, man. Y'all got to check that out. I watch it every morning. It's the most riveting thing that I think is going down. Salute to all of them, but Candace, I'll say this. I love you and everything, but I think you're full of shit. I think you have realized that people are interested in the questions that you're posing, and people like conspiracy theories. Charlie Kirk was loved by so many, they still can't process and accept the fact that a fucking random hater just killed him. You know what I mean? Imagine if Tupac fans were like that for a bit. They couldn't just imagine Yeah, Pac jumped some Crip, and the Crip came back blasting, and Pac is dead. Pac fans are saying he's in Cuba. So I understand dealing with grief and loss and irrational grief and loss or irrational loss that brings grief. Sometimes you're going to get people that are going to lean into these alternate theories. And Candace Owens, I think she's cleaning up. She's making a killing. It's no surprise why she's like every stream now she has 200,000 people watching. Is because people want to see her give alternate explanations of why this guy didn't die from a random fucking hater. And I think Candace knows that a little bit. But I do think, you know what I mean, sometimes she's one of those people that she starts believing, start going so deep down a rabbit hole, she believes all the shit. So again, Charlie Kirk got killed by a hater, bro. That's it. Ain't no government, ain't no cover up. They wish he was here, right? Because Turning Point doesn't hit as hard with him. But Candace is definitely she's exploited a little bit, and I rock with her. Anyway, last topic here is Pusha T. We got Pusha T, who's now explaining that diss songs are dead. So for a lot of younger fans, they know Pusha T for his diss songs. Most infamous is the story of Adidon, scathing character takedown of his hip-hop's rival at the time, which is Drake. From there, the Virginia rap legend has become synonymous with beef. He would be unafraid of dismantling who don't hold the same values as him. Wayne, Drake, Kanye, and most recently, Travis Scott. However, nowadays, the same rapper who has had the smoke for anyone in the industry is now decidedly burnt out of beefs and diss records. Consequently, he claims he's done with indulging in this. Recently, Pusha T spoke to Consequence, where he shrugged about how diss records don't mean the same how they used to. So back in the day, you could end someone's career with a mean song. Now he argues it's only good for feeding online discourse. He says, it's not ransom anymore. Back in the day, to me, I feel like it could be career ending. Now it's not. It doesn't hold much weight. You still get another shot at it, it seems. Wow. Pusha T, and before I go into anything else, you know, I think Pusha T saying that. Pusha T, come on, bro. You one of them niggas that we only talk about when you do a diss song. Let's keep it to me. Like, your album rollout, the best part about it was when you started dissing Travis Scott. Because we didn't know you had an issue with Travis Scott. We didn't know that. Okay. Story of Added On, we talked about you. Yeah, you did drop Daytona, which was a dope album. Yeah, it was Daytona, yeah. I was like, yo, did I trip up? No, Daytona. Dope ass album. But nobody was talking about that shit. People were talking about you dissing Drake. I get the sentiment of you saying that back in the day, a diss song would end somebody. But I think this is where people like you lack reality. If Kendrick thought foolishly that Not Like Us would end Drake's career, he's an idiot. But I don't think he thought that. Again, when we're talking about diss songs, historically, it's never been to end someone's career. It's usually to adjust the hierarchy of who's better. Okay, this guy defeated you in a rap battle, right? But both artists are already doing some of the same things. You're both putting out hot songs, this and third. Pusha T is like more of a lyricist and an MC. A diss song to Drake, yeah, even if people think you got the better of him in a battle, they're not going to stop listening to Drake. You have to realize, like, when people think about diss songs and shit like that and beef, the only place where we could say, like, you know, it works so effectively, we would think is what Pusha T is saying. It was career ending, is the Ja Rule stuff. And I think that was not just one diss song. That was a concerted effort to make Ja Rule look like he was a lame-ass nigga and that's not what people were listening to and that he was kind of, you know, an has-been. So Pusha T now trying to say that modern diss tracks don't work anymore. I'm like, no, it does. You're just shocked that the people that you diss and Kendrick diss are still number one because you can't erase someone's history with a diss song. Now he says, I've been through that chapter and I'm over it. I'm somewhere right now where I don't want to even make music with people. Nevertheless, or have anybody else in music be my focus. While we're there right now, with the clips, it's so next level to me. He says, I feel taste levels above everything else. Even being caught up in the world of it, I don't even like the world of people. I don't like even the world of people of the back and forth. I don't even see eye to eye with you. There's probably things I don't want to, what? Pusha T finds this kind of useless. He said there's no stakes to a conflict. Moreover, there's no catharsis. And by the way, I want to say that's cap, Pusha T. Pusha T, let me tell you this and let me tell Kendrick this. You see the problem with both y'all niggas? Y'all niggas is one-trick ponies. Let me tell you this. If you wanted to get rid of Drake, I'm going to give y'all the fucking blueprint to get rid of Drake. The diss song is part of it because the diss song is like, you know, I got a pool. And I don't know, this is the analogy that came to my mind. If there's like algae growing there or whatever, it's because of the chemistry within the pool, the photosynthesis with the light and everything. You see it get green over time, right? To cure that, you have to what they call shock it, and that's what a diss song is. You hit the industry, the fans, you hit everybody with a shock to say, I'm here and I'm that guy. The problem with you diss song niggas is that you have nothing beyond the diss song. How are you going to take Drake's spot, but you don't want to talk to the women? How are you going to take Drake's spot, but all you want to make is lyrical miracle music? How do you want to get rid of something that you're not replacing? Imagine if Apple said, we're going to go get rid of all the Nextel chirp phones, but we're going to make a device that don't make calls. That would be stupid. So when these guys are talking about ending careers, they're neglecting one big fact. Even if we gave y'all the victory in a rap battle, yes, there's stakes. The problem is y'all can't live up to the stakes beyond a rap battle. You're only good with doing, y'all in the mirror doing URL battles with yourself, trying to see if you could get clever words to diss somebody. You guys don't fulfill the mix. Let me tell you this. The only way to get rid of Drake is to have a super Drake. The guy who the females really love. They're really in tune with. Talks to every feelings that Drake may have omitted. They're there with them. You guys don't do that. You guys are just envious, and that's the problem. The niggas who be saying this now, they're envious. You rapped about a song. You rapped about, oh, you're hiding a child. You thought that was going to kill his career? Do you think that the majority of fans of Drake give a fuck he has a kid? Who all respect to Adonis and all respect to Drake's family? No. You guys are fucking haters. You can't, there is stakes to a rap battle to this day. But you got to be able to provide and produce and replace what you're trying to kill. The problem, the reason why Drake is number one nowadays, number one again, because Kendrick, I don't know, he never stated that I'm trying to kill your career. Because he says he likes him, supposedly, even though he's the biggest hater. For you to kill Drake, you got to have something ready to replace the regime with. You don't destroy the government and then have chaos and then try to reinstill a new government. If you're trying to do a coup, you come in with the government already. So when the old one goes out, the new one's in. The problem is, you guys don't want the pressure that Drake has had to endure for a decade plus. To get rid of Drake, are you going to be here every year giving us 4 or 5 slaps, doing features, helping the culture, bringing new sounds in, being ever present? I know people take this shit for granted, but you can't get rid of. You know what's funny? Because I understand that theory because I be hearing for the last 15 years. That's how long I've been on, motherfuckers. I've been hearing people saying that they wanted to replace me. Remember when Meek Mill thought that there could be replacement for me? You can't replace me if you can't get people to do what everything I do. Or you going to replace me with a cool dude who don't update you with all the numbers, give the breakdowns that I give down, I give out, do the topics I do, no, you have to replace someone with an equivalent. So again, Pusha T is from a different era where he's looking at the diss song as the ultimate. And even then, we've never seen a diss song erase somebody. Did Ether erase Jay-Z? No, it made him stronger. And my point is this. The people who say this, they're one-trick ponies. Because beyond a diss song, even if we give you the win, the conversation that's going to be had is Pusha T. Why don't you make some hits? Because people like hit songs. Why don't you make this type of music? Because people like that too. If you want to get rid of somebody, at least pick up what they were doing before. And do more. Pusha T right now is grifting because he gave his best shot. Kendrick gave his best shot. Drake's still number one. Won't never be number one until you niggas. You know, I always said about the irony with Kendrick Lamar. The things he complained that he hated with Drake is what made Drake that guy. I hate the bitches you fuck, the bitches you this. Kendrick. It takes that also to be the guy. You have to be that open and vulnerable with your relationship. We don't know nothing about you and your shorty, Whitney. The exposure, where he's at every courtside game for the majority of the time. He's doing this, he's doing that. It takes more than music to be Drake. But you claim you hate it. So why would you want to, if you're not down, I always said, never hate a nigga that got more than you if you ain't work harder than him or you ain't down to do the same shit that he did to get what he got. Remember, let me say it one more time. Never hate on a nigga that got something more than you if you ain't work as hard as him for it and you ain't down to do all the things he did to get it. Drake made R&B. Drake made this type of music. Operate like this. If you're not down to do all that, just shut it. And that's the problem. Pusha T's realizing, because Pusha T was secretly rooting for Kendrick. Oh, Kendrick's going to take care of the job. I started it. He's going to finish it. Ha, ha, ha. Drake's still number one. Your efforts look really weak. I'm giving you the blueprint now. Drake is, ain't nobody bigger than the program. You can get rid of Drake. Just make sure you have a full replacement. If not, people are always going to revert to what they know and the diversity he has. All right? Chat, that's my time tonight. I'm out of here. 4 hours. I love you guys. I will see you tomorrow. I think tomorrow, tune in for that one. I know I've been delaying it, but really, I don't give a fuck about this, but I guess y'all do. And if I got to drop 50, I will. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Tune in tomorrow. Daytime stream. I'll light it up. But realistically, I don't give two fucks to do it. And I realized, I was a little salty. Not salty, but like I felt the way. I'm like, this is the only viral thing I've seen on their podcast since. It's the, like, social-wise, they posted, oh, we were talking about act. It's the biggest thing. So I'm like, am I helping these niggas? Whatever, fuck it. Like, Big Act ain't no punk. So we'll get at it tomorrow. I love y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Daytime stream. Just tune in early.